Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
This week, in Framingham, Massachusetts, a bloodbath complete with some strange placement of internal organs is a complete surprise to this leafy neighborhood, but why it happened turns out to be much more shocking. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wissman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another insane edition of Small Town Murder.
Sure.
And when I say insane, wow, buckle up, everybody. Let's just say that right off the top here. We will get to that very quickly. Little house cleaning at the top of the show very quickly here. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Head there, right now. Get your tickets to the virtual live show.
Oh, boy.
October the 27th. Just like a live show, but you're in your living room.
Coming at you.
Looks just like we're in a theater, I guess, with the same stage setup, except the screen and all that. But you're in your house. That's all there is to it. Lots of stuff. It's fun. We're going to do a spooky, crazy, weird Halloween episode, and it will be available for 7 days after that. You can watch it over and over. You can watch it later. You can do whatever you want with it for 7 days. So get your tickets to that right now. Shutupandgivememurder.com or moment.co/smalltownmurder. Also, whatever app you're listening on, give us 5 stars. It does help out the show, drives us up the charts. So you want to do that. Patreon this week is cooking.
Hell yeah.
My goodness. Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all the good stuff, the bonus episodes, anybody $5 or above. A cup of coffee is what it is. We'll get you not only the whole back catalog of bonus episodes to binge, which is like 150 episodes, but in addition to that, you're also going to get new ones every other week, 2 new episodes, 1 crime and sports, 1 small town murder, and you'll get access to it all this week, which you'll get for crime and sports. Nothing to do with sports, but really fun. We're doing the personal ads again, a favorite. It is a favorite and most requested. Everybody wants it back all the time, so we got to do them every 6 months. Personal ads, old personal ads from the newspaper. Desperate people in the 80s looking for love in black and white print. So that's fun. Then for Small Town Murder, another back by popular demand, small town festivals. We're going to talk about some weird county fairs and some weird small town festivals and all sorts of weird stuff. Get all of that. Patreon.com/crime and sports and get a shout out at the end of the show. Of course, where Jimmy will mispronounce your name. Guaranteed. We guarantee you a name mispronounce. Only if it's like Italian or Eastern European, he'll really butcher it. Other than that, he's getting good at them, though. I'll give you credit, Jimmy. You're getting better. You are. You are. I'm telling you. Then I got to encourage, Then got to give the disclaimer here. This is a comedy show.
It is.
We're comedians.
We are.
As crazy as it is, nothing is made up for comedic effect. The stories are 100% real. Everything is real. We don't make fun of. We try to go. This is the thing. We're not into like murder porn. So I don't want to be like, and then he cut her head off and blood squirted. It's pretty gross. We try to lighten the mood a little bit here. Obviously, around an actual killing, you can't do that. But all the stuff around it that's crazy, that's where the jokes are. You got some bumbling police force screwing up for 10 years or some murderer with a crazy excuse. Let's make fun of him. Why not?
Yes.
We have no other recourse in this matter. We're comedians. We're not, I'm not a homicide detective. I can't go slap the cuffs on somebody. So there you go. We do that. But what we do not do is we do not make fun of the victim or the victim's family.
Why, James?
Because we're assholes.
Yeah,
but we're not scumbags. That's how that works. So if that sounds good to you, we are going to hear a wild episode. If you think true crime and comedy should never, ever, ever, never go together, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be friends. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe we should. We don't know yet, but you should listen and check it out. Yeah. No complaining afterwards, though. I'll tell you that much. That said, I think it's time, Jimmy, to sit back. What do you say?
Sure. Yeah.
Clear the lungs wherever you are and hopefully not too public of a place and shout, "Shut up and give me murder." Let's do this, Jimmy.
Okay.
Let's go on a trip, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. We're going all the way this week to Massachusetts. Here we go, Massachusetts. It's Framingham, Massachusetts, which the population is slightly above our normal cutoff.
Sure.
But it's only because it's like a swelling suburb, but it's a definite town feel, a lot of neighborhoods, houses.
Okay.
It's a suburb. So, I mean, it's people that live there, it's a town. I mean, they call it a town, but it's big enough to be a small city, we'll say.
Where the hell is it?
It's northeastern Massachusetts. It's about 35 minutes to Boston. So it's Boston suburbs. Everybody that lives there works in Boston pretty much.
Sure.
If they have a nice house anyway, they work in Boston.
It's wild how I still, for the life, look, I've lived in wide open spaces my whole life, and I never realized how goddamn commutable the Northeast is. And it's because it was all designed when there was things that couldn't get you places fast. And now we can get there so fast. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's absolutely true. I mean, you think like, New York City and people work there. Yeah, but people don't all live there. They commute there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or any of these cities. Yeah. So
there are
that's the way it
people in
works.
fucking New Hampshire that work in Boston. It's
absolutely.
crazy.
Yeah, because that's just beyond Framingham. This is in northeastern Massachusetts. About an hour 20 to Providence, Rhode Island, if you want to go south, and about 2.5 hours all the way across the state from North Adams, Massachusetts. Our last episode there, episode 271, that was. Okay. This is in Middlesex County.
Yep.
Area code 508. The motto here, and you'll understand this if you've ever been in this area, the motto here, you think you're better than me?
Yeah.
What do you think? You're better than me?
Goddamn arrogance.
What are you better than me? Just Irish guys looking for fights. That's all it is. What, you think you're better than me? Is that why you're looking at me, pal? They're all town mottos. It's right on the side.
Yeah.
Right. You enter. Welcome to Framingham. You think you're better than me? You're like, wow. Okay. Aggressive.
You're not too good for this place. Stop it.
Yeah. Wow. That's aggressive here. So it was. It's sited on an ancient trail known as the Old Connecticut Path, which was first settled by Europeans when John Stone settled on the west bank of the Sudbury River in 1647.
Jesus, fuck.
This shit is old school. In 1660, Thomas Danforth, who was an official of the Bay Colony, formerly of Framingham, which is what it used to be called, he did not want to incorporate the town there, but it didn't get incorporated until 1700 when this guy died. So he died, and then they were like, okay, he'll shut up now. Finally,
now there's
Jesus
no complaints.
Christ, that's literally the next time. So they don't know why they dropped the L from it because it was Framingham, and apparently when they incorporated, they dropped the L. So there you go.
Maybe somebody didn't see it in the
just
between the I.
Yeah. Like it's cumbersome off the tongue. Framingham comes off.
It's weird to spell.
Plus, with our accent, we're going to just drop the L anyway. So why?
We don't say whole words. Fuck
Come on. So either way, in 1701, first church was organized. They got the first teacher hired in 1706. They built a permanent schoolhouse in 1716. So it happened pretty fast. That's fast for back then.
Sure enough.
To hire a teacher took like 2 years. You had to put in
somebody that knows some shit.
You had to put ads in like newspapers and cities, then wait for replies, which took 2 weeks, then go over them all, then send a reply back, and then they would have to plan to travel for an interview, which would take a month, and then they would go. It takes months to hire somebody like that. Crazy.
It takes 3 steps to turn the lights on, of course.
It's a lot. So they had the Dennison Manufacturing Company was founded here in 1844 as a jewelry and watch box manufacturing company.
They make the box that all
the
shit goes in.
They made the jewelry and a shit to put it in. So there you go, all in one. It started by Aaron Lufkin Dennison, who was the pioneer of the American system of watch manufacturing at the nearby Waltham Watch Company. Okay. And his brother, I guess, made the company even bigger once this guy passed it on to him. And in 1990, they merged into Avery Dennison. They merged with another company. So the company's still around from 1844.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. They have headquarters in Pasadena, California now, though. But they have a corporate office.
Sun in their life, yeah.
Yeah. In 1917, the town was the site of, and I didn't look up what this was on purpose because it's just crazy to say and leave it alone, the tuberculosis demonstration.
Well, I'm scared to death.
I don't know what that is. Every tubercular fucking drunken son of a bitch, come outside and start coughing. We're going to have a big old demonstration. No, people are coming from miles around. Come on.
That's a very quiet demonstration. Those are people that can't be yelling. It literally hurts.
Thank you, everybody. It's quite the demonstration.
A bunch of people coughing blood on shit.
That's wonderful. Yeah, just a bunch of people with the white rag over their mouth coughing with the handkerchief like Doc Holliday and Tombstone. Yeah, a bunch of goddamn lungers. Now, reviews of this town here, there's a bunch of reviews. Let's see here. There's some really fucking funny ones, too. Reviews 5 stars. I've been living in Framingham all my life. Over the years, I've seen how much it has changed. Now that we have a mayor...
What?
So they had like this town with 70,000 people or something and no mayor in it. So for a lot, that's what I mean.
Bunch of people screaming their own interests.
Wow, that's a crazy council meeting. That's wild. Let's see. Now that we have a mayor, there are many more city activities. Well, that's good, I guess. Somebody needed to organize something.
Doing his work.
Many new constructions that I'm excited to see done! ! So very nice. Here's 5 stars. Framingham is developing well. New construction has given life to the area, although there's still room for improvement.
Okay.
Homelessness and home affordability are problems that continue to worsen.
Welcome to America.
That's America, yeah. Plus, you're in a suburban, you're a half hour from a major metropolitan area like that. It's going to be competition for housing. That's just the way it is.
Shit's going to be half done around there.
It's tough. Here's 3 stars. Quote, it's all right. I've lived here my whole life and really have grown to see some interesting things. You've grown to see some interesting things? Great.
Yeah.
I love my city, but there's just so much bad stuff going on around here. It's pretty concerning. But I love Framingham regardless.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm really confused.
I love it with all of its flaws.
That's like there's like a person with two distinct personalities, and they went back and forth writing lines. Bad stuff. It's pretty concerning. But I love Framingham. 2 stars. Safety in this neighborhood is bad. A few days ago, someone got robbed at knife point. Well, that's, again, welcome to America. Yeah. Last month, someone broke into my car and stole everything. Wow. All these events have occurred even though there is a police patrol in the area. If you have teenagers and do not want them to get involved in drugs, do not move to this neighborhood.
Well, that's America.
Yeah.
Particularly that area, heavy with fucking
Oh,
opioids.
yeah.
Oh,
absolutely. That's huge. Here is 1 star. There's a long story behind this one. I'd love to know what it is. 1 star. Stay away from this Nazi community.
Oh.
Number 1, Nazi community. So it's like like an SS company town, I guess. I don't know. The cops will kick in your doors and kill your dog.
What?
Wow. All without having a warrant. They just come in. That's your... Open up. It's Framingham police. It's just a standard bust down your door, kill your dog thing. We do this every once in a while. It's random. Random kill your dog.
Framingham dog murderers, we're here.
Come here. Open it up. What the fuck is that about? So, wow, that person, there's a long story there. They gave that 1 sentence or 2 sentences, and it really could have been
longer. I wonder
longer.
if that person was swatted. You heard about that fucking trend? That is crazy.
Yeah, that shit is insane. That's those people. Anyone who does that deserves to have their fucking
asshole
balls kicked in.
Yeah.
So people in this town, 72,277 people.
My God.
Yeah. So that is it's quite a lot of people. It's up since 2022. It's rising here.
Yeah.
So more females than males, a few more females than normal actually too, than usual, I should say. Married population's a little bit higher. It's a suburb, so you're going to get a mix of like your townies who grew up there and then people who work in Boston and wanted to move, had kids and moved out here. So you have this interesting mix, because it's a lot like that where I live too, where you get this mix of like people who are from here and then people who are like these fucking people that work in the city and then make the housing go up because they buy all the fucking houses around here. It's those 2 people that live here. You know what I mean? Right. So it's the same thing when you're dealing with an East Coast suburban area. So more married than normal, all that kind of shit. Less divorced than normal, which is I guess good. Race of this town, 66% white, 5.5% black, 7.7% Asian, 16.3% Hispanic, 1.3% other race. What? Don't know what that is. Yeah. They're pretty... all the races are on there, so I don't know what race that could be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if what that means, but we'll find out. 62.4% of the people here are religious.
You betcha.
And this is Boston, so I mean, 50.1% of the people in this town are Catholic. So it is overwhelming, because Catholics are, as we know, the Baptists of the North. Absolutely. 1.9% Jewish.
Hey!
Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila. I don't know the words. Hey! All right. Not bad here. Politically, last election in this county, Middlesex County, 71.5% Democratic, 26.3% Republican, 2.2% Independent. Unemployment rate's a little bit lower than normal here, and household income a little bit higher. It's normally, mid 50,000s for regular. Here it is $73,182 is the median household income. 41% of the people here make over $100,000 a year. So
41%.
So it's people make money here because a lot of them live in Boston and have like a high salary there and then live out here. It's a little bit cheaper. Or work in Boston is what I meant. Yeah. So if we've convinced you, damn it, you're ready to commute on into Boston and stop by at Cheers and have the whole Boston experience, we have for you the Framingham, Massachusetts Real Estate Report. Your average two-bedroom rental here, pricey, $1,970 a month. It's usually about $1,250, so that's a lot. Two-bedroom, one-bath house I found here, 1,356 square feet. So spacious for a two-bedroom. Nice front porch. It's decent, like nice little front yard. Got a bay window and everything in the house. It's it's a nice house, though. Decent house. $399,000 for that. That's about as cheap as you're going to get for a freestanding, apartment type house.
Right.
Here's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,739 square feet.
Okay, some room.
Yeah, it's renovated inside, all, whatever, flipped and done over and everything. But it still looks like a very non-spectacular blue box from the outside. It just looks like a kind of a average.
No curb appeal, everything on the inside.
Yeah, everything's on the inside. $624,900 for that, though. Yeah, it seems like if you're going to spend that much, you might as well kick it up to the next house here because this seems like a deal for this area. 5-bedroom, 5-bath, 4,076 square feet.
Yeah.
Really nice. This is from the listing. I'll just read you the first couple sentences of the listing. Welcome to the secret garden of Framingham. This beautiful home is what dreams are made of, with a cinematic presence as soon as you drive into the estate on Learned Pond.
On Learned Pond?
Wow. It's the fucking house is beautiful inside. Yeah. It's just a gorgeous house. It's like a beautiful old New England house.
Lots of wood.
It's just really nice. Yeah. $1,070,000.
$1 million.
$1 million for that, which is 3 times the size, more than twice the size of the other house, and way, 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 way nicer. And
on Learned Pond.
It's on Learned Pond, for Christ's sake. Things to do in this town. Here we go. Not a lot to do here, actually. I think they're kind of just like Boston's. It's right there. Go. You lazy bum. Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? What do you do?
Fucking Fenway's right there.
It's right there. What do you want? Christ almighty. It's David Ortiz Day. Framingham Earth Day Festival is what they have here. Now, at the Earth Day Festival, it's earthy. We have here's the agriculture, gardening, and horticulture section of the event here. Angel hair alpacas will be there.
I didn't know that they were different ones.
I don't know. I guess you can just look at them. I don't know what you do with them. Do you pet them?
Is it made of pasta?
Feed them?
Yeah. It's a heavy Italian presence here.
Maybe it's just pasta.
Alpacas made of pasta.
Maybe they just eat pasta. That's it. They're the ones you only feed them angel hair pasta. That's all they'll eat. It's a very special form of alpaca.
They like cannoli, but they prefer the angel hair.
That's it. That's all they'll eat. I'm telling you. They'll eat it once in a while. You can get a Napoleon in them, but I'm telling you, it's mainly the angel hair. They have black earth compost. I don't know what that is. No clue. The East Lee Farm Educational Foundation will be there. You can visit the Framingham Seed Library. Oh, look at that seed. Wow.
They got a lot of time.
Oh, that's an oval shaped and that one's round. Okay. Like there's fucking, what are you going to look at seeds? What is that
nice
about?
Nice houses are $1 million here. Why do you have so much time to fuck around with seeds?
I don't understand it. Then here we go. They have an all-day show in the park here. It says, bring a lounge chair, a yummy lunch, and hang out with us all day.
I got to bring my own food?
Oh, yeah, they're not going to have food for sale there. Well, you can eat an alpaca probably, or steal some of its angel hair if you're really that hungry. But other than that, starting out at 11 a.m., which is the slot you want if you're a music act. You want to be on at 11 a.m. That's really the best music, comedy, best done mid-morning, usually.
Compete with football.
Wow. 11 to 11:30, too. There's a short set for Archive Her is the name of the band. Couldn't find much information on this band. I don't know what's going on there. Okay. At 11:30, Mayor Charlie Sisitsky's going to come on the stage for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he's finally have a mayor. Let's hear from him, I guess. What do you got, Mayor? He's going to come on. Then from 11:45 to 12:30, this one gets a 45-minute set. You get to see Paul Rodriguez.
Oh.
No. Not Born in East L.A., Paul Rodriguez. Not that one. Not even his son, the very amazing skateboarder, Paul. Not even that Paul Rodriguez.
No?
You're not getting either of those. You're getting Paul Rodriguez, the musician, who it says, this is from his site here, Paul Rodriguez has been performing in the Boston Metro West area since moving from Los Angeles in 2002. Currently, he's performing with his rock band, the Paul Rodriguez Band, and his jazz fusion band, Polarized Guru.
Oh, it's definitely not them.
It's not them. I saw the guy's picture. I worked with Paul Rodriguez.
Yeah.
It ain't Paul Rodriguez. Trust me. It's not him. So
I wish it was. I'd go watch that.
Me too. I was like, wow, damn, Paul Rodriguez. Shit's falling off for you. And
really
then I'm like,
into
it's
seeds.
not him. Yeah, I'm just here for the seeds, man. This fucking seeds. 12:30 at the end of his set, Amy Powelka comes on. She is there to talk about the Energize Framingham program.
Oh,
something to do with their power grid or some shit.
Municipality lady?
Yeah, that's what they do. They have a band, then they have some like civil servant come out and explain like, how the sewer works. Yeah, how the sewer system works. And 12:45 to 1:30, the Party Band is coming on.
Okay.
Here we go. The Party Band is an original brass band embodying homegrown, unadulterated, unplugged fun.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Their mission is to bring people together, celebrate the gift of being alive, and make the world a better place through the joys of quality live music in a way that is accessible to everyone.
That is a party.
Yeah, well, if you're playing brass instruments, it's accessible to everyone within a 3-mile radius because they can fucking hear it. It's everywhere. At 1:30, when that's over with, the energy that on the stage is going to be on fire. Once they put the flames out, Sean Lewis will come on, who is the Framingham Sustainability Coordinator.
God damn it.
Imagine if that is like a high energy act and everybody likes the brass band, and that could be fun. And then this guy comes out, hello, I'm the Framingham Sustainability Coordinator. That is awful.
Yeah, they just crushed.
Jesus Christ.
You can call me Flight 93 because I'm going to drive this right into the ground.
It's like following Bernie Mac in 1997. Like, hi.
Oh, boy.
I'm a comedian also.
I got jokes. Ready, guys?
Wow.
I'm actually afraid of you motherfuckers.
Yeah, I am scared of you motherfuckers. 1:45 to 2:20. That's a very odd set time there. 1:45 to 2:20. The Circuit Breakers will come on.
Shit, yeah.
We play
40 minutes of music.
That's it. We play classic rock and the music you love from the 50s to present day. How present day do you think they are?
Yeah.
Do you think it's the 50s through like the 70s and that's present day to them? Yeah. I looked at their picture. They're all at least 70 years old. Every one of these men is at least 70 years old. They're not playing. Here's one from The Weekend. Like, that's not happening. It's not happening.
Have you guys heard this song? It's called Wet Ass Pussy.
Yeah. So then 2:20, Michael Croce comes out, and he is the Keep Framingham Beautiful coordinator. So he's going to come talk. Then they close it all out at 2:30 with a half-hour set from Jack Brenznek, who looks like a 16-year-old child, and he's wearing Crocs all the time. So that's going to be a wild scene, everybody. I recommend it highly.
Kids fucking love those shoes again.
Yeah,
they had
do.
like it's a new resurgence. I think it's basketball players that are doing it.
I got mad for a second with kids like dressing like that, and I'm like, Jesus, everyone's in their fucking pajamas. Then I remember we had skids, and I'm like, never mind. We came in, they looked like fucking pajamas. They were literally pajamas. Never mind. Carry on. Do whatever you're doing.
Keep being comfortable.
That's
get
it. Crime rate in this town. Property crime is low. It's almost half the national average.
Really?
So, yeah, it's leafy. It's nice.
They got money. They can buy their own shit.
Violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and assault. Well, you think you're better than me? That counts in those fights. That's right at average, though.
Okay.
Enough angry Irish people in bars to fight each other to keep it at average. Now,
it's not stealing anything from you. It's just violence for the sake of violence.
It's just, if you're from the Northeast, or if you've spent a lot of time in the Northeast, there's just going to be some violence sometimes, just for the sake of you. Yeah. Whoa, fuck are you looking at? It's just enough already, and people snap, and it's very weird.
I went to a wedding. The best man had a black eye and a swollen face because he got in a road rage fight on the way to the fucking.
That's so normal. It's so normal. It's not even funny in the Northeast, especially like in suburban areas. Like I don't know what it is. It just happens all the time.
Had a fist fight.
Oh God! When I was a kid, we used to get in fights all the time. There's always something. And now I think back on it, I was like, why were we fighting so much? Because it's just what you did. It was weird. So
that is swollen for the pictures, man.
That's hilarious. That's a true Northeastern wedding. I love it. I love it here. That's what it is. Yeah, I love it, man. It's perfect. So let's talk about a murder. What do you say, Jimmy?
Yeah,
let's talk about just a bar fight. We'll talk about an actual horrible thing that happened here. We've got to go back to 1995. So we were just talking about the 90s, and now here we are, dead smack in the middle of the 90s. Here it comes. Fucking Ace of Base is pumping. It's all.
Yeah.
All that she's wanting is another baby at this point. She's seen the sign, and she won't turn around. It's all good.
The guy from Savage Gardens pretending he's straight.
Yeah, and I don't think he was famous yet, was he?
I think he was.
That was
then,
later.
Yeah, right.
That was later. That was like 98, 99. Yeah, that was later. 95 is still.
He's super pretending now. Poor
maybe.
bastard.
Yeah, really. It's okay, man. We're good. So 1995, we got to talk about an individual here. His name is Richard H, and I'm going to say that H, and I'm going to say it because there's a reason you'll find out later. Richard H is his middle initial. Okay, that'll make sense in about 20 minutes. Rosenthal is his last name. He is 40 years old in 1995.
Yep.
And doing extremely well for himself here. I mean, honestly, he's kind of got an American dream thing going on with his whole life. At 95, he's a senior financial officer for the John Hancock Mutual Life Insurance Company in Boston.
Wow.
He's worked his way up. He makes a shitload of money. Talk about his educational background and everything like that. He has a bachelor's from the Wharton School of Business, which at Pennsylvania University, which is the most prestigious business school there is.
Heard of Wharton? Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, not too bad here. He's doing very well for himself, and obviously you kind of have to have your shit together a little bit if you're going to go to all these colleges. I couldn't even figure out the application, so it's a lot.
Work at John Hancock and be doing well there too. That's a big name. That's a big brand.
And he's from a very blue collar family too.
Oh.
So they're very proud of him. Obviously, they're blue collar from a blue collar section of Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Okay. So he got his bachelor's degree in accounting from Wharton University, or from Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. That was 1977. He earned a master's degree in actuarial science at Temple University.
What the fuck is that?
That is extra accounting. An actuary is like a super accountant.
Dealing
you can
with
do
big numbers.
I don't know the bigger or even smaller. Maybe they're getting really into the decimals. I'm not sure what it is, but
one way or the other.
One way or the other, man. They're either dealing with billions or cents, but they're dealing with something, and that's like a hardcore thing. So it wasn't enough to have the degree from there. He had to get a master's in actuarial science. That is
Jesus
wild. Temple University, that was in 1979. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, Believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
He worked for a major accounting firm for a while, and then he got recruited by John Hancock, the company, in 1985 here. And now this is the type of guy, too, when he's at work, he's the guy who, when the cleaning person comes in with the vacuum late at night, they're like, oh, sorry, didn't mean to disturb you. And he's still on his computer in a dark room with the light on him and shit. And they're like, you want me to empty your garbage? And he's like, yeah, please. And he's that guy.
A fresh cup of coffee at 10 at night.
He's that guy. Dark office. He's there with, glow of the screen on his face. He works late at nights, and this allows him to really move up the ladder pretty quickly because he burns the midnight oil, man. He's like a first to get in, last to leave type of guy.
I work. I'll rest and I'll enjoy myself when I'm retired.
That's what he's trying to do here. So he worked all these late nights. Plus, he was a single guy back then. He's a young guy.
Great.
What was he? He was in his late 20s at the time. Single guy. What else you got to do? Try to do something for yourself. That's good. So he does this. He works up the ranks and up to a senior financial analyst. There's about 24 people there that have that position in the whole firm. It's a real, apparently a very prestigious job for them.
Okay.
A big deal. Big deal, yeah. Everybody said he's somewhat of a kind of a loner there.
Okay.
He's not totally a loner, as we'll talk about, but he's not real jocular. He's not that kind of guy who's like, what are we talking about? We breaking his balls. That's not the kind of guy he is.
He's not the water cooler guy.
No, they said he rarely shows a sense of humor. Which, shocking from a guy with a master's in actuarial science, that he's not a real...
not a jokester.
He picked the right career, you know what I mean? That's what he is. It's fine, fuck. If we didn't have senses of humor, maybe we'd have masters in actuarial science.
I might do well.
I could have done well.
America. Who knows?
Maybe. But if otherwise, it ruins us, the sense of humor.
Yeah.
All we want to do is make jokes, and they don't like that at jobs.
It's just hard to sit there in a fucking meeting when somebody says something that sounds hysterical, and we're all just going to move across this. We're just going to pretend like that didn't just happen.
No, and
we can't do it.
Much like the kid in your class who had to say that thing.
Right.
We're all those kids. So we can't not say that thing, even though we really want to, and our livelihood depends on it, and we don't want to say it. It comes out, and that's why. That's why we end up here. And
I hate me too. Don't worry about it.
That's why we end up on a podcast and we're on stage. Even worse, even more asking for admiration. And please laugh at me on a goddamn stage. So either way, not a lot of sense of humor. I guess he decided to go to law school in around 1990. Okay. He decides, I'm going to be a lawyer. I want to be an attorney. I guess he wants to be an attorney at the firm.
Enough for him? Yeah.
I guess not. He gets rejected from Suffolk Law School, which, what do they want from the guy?
Honestly.
What do you want from him? He's got a master's degree in actuarial science. He seems like a smart guy. He has an important
Sacrificed his
job.
sense of humor for this.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Look at him. He's dull as shit.
Seems like right up your alley, guys.
He's no jokes. I mean, nothing. Not even like a dad joke. He's got ugats for us on the joke front. Can we, Jesus Christ, hire the man. Get him in here. So, but yeah, I guess he does. That's like a minor setback for him. It's kind of the first setback he's really had. Otherwise, he got into all the schools he wanted. He got the degrees he wanted. But he goes out with some women, has a couple of semi-long-term relationships in the late 80s, lives with a woman for a little while. But then he meets a woman named Laura. Okay. She goes by LJ. Laura Jane Russell is her name. Yeah. Everybody calls her LJ, apparently. She's from Illinois, from Highland Park, Illinois, suburb of Chicago. She's raised in El Paso, Texas, though.
Oh, okay.
So she's very, very Texas, everybody says about her. She moved out to California for a little while and then ended up in Boston. Okay. Now, they get together and everybody says they're very different people. She has a sense of humor and she's kind of more outgoing. And she's charming, whereas he is more rigid and just not real. He's a goddamn a super accountant. What do you want from the guy? No offense, accountants out there, but you didn't get that job because you're like, I'm hilarious. Accounting. That's not I just want to have fun. Accounting. That's not this. You have to be very steady for people to trust you with their money. I want a dork with no sense of humor with my money.
Yeah. Otherwise, you end up with like fucking Kevin Bacon.
Any money I have, if someone was dealing with it and I told them a joke and they laughed hysterically, I'd be like, goodbye. I'm not doing this. I want them to stare at me and go, what I was saying about mutual funds was, thank you. You're the right person for me.
I want them to say, I don't get it.
Yeah. I want them to give like a 3-second pause where they stare through me with their glasses down their nose. And then they go, anyway, back to fourth quarter planning. And they just ignore it like it never happened. Disgusted with humor. So Laura, though, the way she was apparently was very smoothing in social situations. So if they're a couple, she can kind of take the lead and smooth it out a little bit and kind of ease him into it so he doesn't have to be so on the spot.
Opposites attract, motherfucker.
It happens. Yeah. They're about the same height. In heels, she's taller than him.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, apparently she's very, very kind of, not meek, but very mild is the way to put it. And with a lot of things, she seems very mild. Everybody said she would dote on him a lot and give him constant attention and all that sort of thing. Very much into him. When apparently she worked at Hancock too. She worked at John Hancock also. And when they'll end up getting married in 1991. And I guess all of her friends were mad at her because she decided to change her name to Rosenthal. She decided to take his name, and all of her friends were like, we're like 80s career chicks. You can't do that. Mm-hmm. Like, that goes against what we're doing. And she's like, well, that's what I'm doing. So she did that. A former girlfriend of his, the one that was together with him right before he met Laura, said he didn't seem to have a way to express his anger. He didn't talk very much in the first place. He would withdraw. So that's
bottling it up. That's his thing.
I guess so. She said, yeah, he never really would blow up. He'd never yell or scream or act angry, or he just kind of. So she didn't know if he didn't get angry or if he just didn't know how to express it or what. Yeah. But he's not a real emotive guy in terms of laughing, crying, screaming, yelling.
It's a very tumultuous thing to have happen, because as a person, like, if your other doesn't get mad, that's awesome, because then we don't fight. But how do we know that that's not like bubbling?
Bottled up inside and it's going to explode out of you. Yeah, you don't know, but we don't know. And some people are just mild and they just take things pretty easy. Some people are easygoing, you know what I mean? Right. So this girlfriend always just said he seemed pretty easygoing, basically, to me. Like, he was never mean or angry or any of that shit, not controlling or just kind of there, just kind of like wallpaper, not real exciting. So they get married, like we said, in 1991, Richard and Laura here. So an employee of Richard said that the one weird thing is Laura placed an engagement announcement in the newspaper for them, as you used to do back then.
Yeah,
people would do.
Yeah.
That was a thing in 91. The problem is she put in his middle initial. She used the H. And he absolutely despises his middle name. You want to piss him off. Impossible to do in most dads. You fucking put a middle initial between those Richard and Rosenthal.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Apoplectic. Dude can't take it.
It's like when Pee-wee called his neighbor Francis.
It's that. Yeah, you can pinch his wife's ass, fucking open your door into his car. He doesn't give a fuck about any of that shit. You use the H in his name. My God. Fucking fire will rain from the skies.
Well, what is it?
Don't know what his middle name is. We just know it's H. All I can get is the H because
what
from
if
then
it's
on.
just an H?
Maybe it's just an H. I'm not
He's
sure.
Furious about it.
I don't know. He wanted a whole name. He's like, I want to be Herbert. And I gave.
Like Ulysses S. Grant.
I want to be Harvey.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, I think you got to be like famous before they'll give you a middle initial, maybe, or at least accomplish something. So, but yeah, that was a very, very weird thing here. She's a few years younger than him, by the way. She's 6 years younger than him. LJ here. LJ from El Paso. So, people who knew them said they were kind of surprised that they were a couple. Like people that knew both of them
They were even
like,
together at all?
Yeah, they said people kept using the words ill-suited. They seemed ill-suited for each other.
Ouch. That's a rich, smart people way of saying
They
don't go together.
Those two are, what a weird couple. That's what a weird fucking couple they are, right?
Ill-suited.
So they seem just ill-suited. Don't you believe? I think he is ill-suited. Yes, they're ill-suited for each other. Or you could say opposites attract. You know what I mean? That could go either way because, I mean, opposite people a lot of times seem ill-suited for each other, and it works out just fine. But they said their temperaments and everything, but somehow they were making it work, and it seemed to be good.
That
here.
implies she's too hot for him, to me.
There's that, and well, she's just real outgoing, and he's like the guy in the office that just like does his work and doesn't really talk to anybody, and so they're like, how did they even start talking? Is what everybody's saying. Like, how did he talk to her? Like, what the fuck? He doesn't seem like he would like approach her. So how did that work? People can't figure out how they even got together, basically.
Yeah, like Brittany Murphy and her husband.
Yeah, you're like, how did that happen?
What the fuck?
Oh, he had drugs. Okay, now I know how it happened.
Sense.
Yeah, he knew how to get drugs a lot. Now it makes more sense. Oh man, I saw that documentary on her. That was some sad shit. That's terrible.
I'm still disturbed.
It's been
a couple of years since I've seen it.
I felt bad for her, man.
Oh,
obviously,
man.
Jesus Christ. So either way, these two are married. Not Brittany Murphy and her scumbag boyfriend, but these two are married on September 29th, 1991, in a courthouse by a justice of the peace in El Paso, Texas. He went down.
Wow.
So he's agreeable, go down to El Paso to get married. You have to be very agreeable to agree to go to El Paso at all. Let me tell you something. To agree to spend a night in El Paso, you got to be a very agreeable person.
I don't know, I can see why people live there because
do tell, Jimmy.
Hold on.
Pray tell.
The nice thing about El Paso is that you can just look south and see that it could always be worse.
That's true.
Juarez is a piece of shit.
That's a piece of shit. And yeah, but if you've come from somewhere else anywhere other place in the United States, you know, with the possible exception of Tampa, you'd go, this place is a fucking disaster. What happened?
I think that people that live in El Paso started there, and then they go, oh, look, we're doing so great. Look over there.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe
That's
it's
a
just
mess.
I stay here so I can feel better about myself. I'm not sure.
I need visual confirmation every day that I'm at least a little bit better than I could be.
Than somebody, yeah. So this is the first marriage for both people, by the way. Neither of them have been married before. Now, Laura, by the way, she career-wise, socially, she's way more outgoing, has a lot going on. Career-wise, she's not that ambitious. She's not as ambitious as he is anyway.
So she's not playing that corporate game of trying to climb the
she's
ladder.
not staying late and doing all that shit.
She's got her job. She's happy. If they want to reward her for what she's doing, fine. But if not, I'm fine.
They call it a low-level staff position of assistant portfolio manager in John Hancock's investment department.
Oh,
so
she's not even like the lead That's fantastic. The least pressure.
Yeah. When it's 5 o'clock, she goes home. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? She's not like, well, I have this project. She's like, well, be clocking in at 9 tomorrow.
Look at the clock. That's where I'm at on my day.
That's it. She also went to college for 2 years, but I don't think she got a degree ever. But she attended college for like 2 years. Just doesn't have the same drive, which no one has. Very few people have a drive like, I'm going to go to this school and then that school. I should be an actuarial science major with a master's. Oh, maybe I'll go to law school, even though life is going well. That's crazy.
Yeah. I've got a paycheck. I don't need to spend it.
No, this is nuts. So after they're married, they get married and they rent an apartment in a south end of Boston. They get a nice brownstone apartment, one of those old school brownstones on the south end there. So there's Southies over here now, and this is right near the place they work, which is at that big giant glass fucking John Hancock building. So they work right there. They live very close. They can walk to work. Mm-hmm. So life's pretty easy. The landlord at this place said that he liked Laura much better than Richard.
Okay.
That's what he said. I like Laura much better. He said, quote, the dynamic between the couple was that he was tense and assertive and aggressive, and she was the person who was nice and easier to deal with.
In the 80s, that was a lot of relationships.
I was going to say that you just sounded like you just described like Archie Bunker and Edith Bunker. Like you described kind of the archetypal sitcom family dynamic is what does this guy want from me? And then she goes, it's okay. Don't listen to him. Blah, 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 blah.
It's that 70s show, for Christ's sake.
That's what
everything.
I mean. It's that old school kind of dynamic there. And it makes sense, too. And especially him, I don't know, with a landlord. Maybe he's weird about money, too, because he's so... I don't know.
You don't necessarily. A lot of people didn't have relationships with their landlord. At that point, it's take my check, get the fuck away from me. I live in here, you don't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So either way, they lived there for a couple years. In April of 1993, they moved to. This is when they buy a nice house here. This is in Framingham. It's in the Knobscott section of North Framingham.
Yeah.
Here near the Sudbury line. So there you go, the line to Sudbury. Now they buy it. It's a beautiful house, $330,000 in 1993. So that's
a good chunk of change.
It's a good chunk of change. It's a very, very nice house, a very, very nice neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Type of neighborhood where right after that, suburban dinner time, quote unquote, the streets are just flooded with like baby carriages and people walking around and waving at their one of those neighborhoods. Like everybody's got an 8-month-old, or it seems like here,
and a family dog
and a dog. Oh yeah, obviously a dog. So. Yeah, that's the deal here. So it's a beautiful leafy neighborhood, very like I said, very walkable. They the Rosenthals kind of mostly keep to themselves, everybody says, in the neighborhood. They hadn't really become a part of the fabric of the community yet.
Sure.
But it's hard to do that if you come from somewhere else and you're moving in. And like we were saying, like Framingham also has that thing of like you're from here or you're a Boston person, so it's I could see that kind of being a little difficult. And if they work in the city and they work, decent hours and they come home at 7:30 or something, they don't have time to go fucking talk to Jack across the street and watch him dick off in his garage for a half hour. They're going to go in and eat their dinner and, whatever. So
I see the advantages of being a part of the neighborhood, but I also do see the fucking weird part of like, I don't want to talk about the shit at the end of the street. It's not on my property. I don't fucking care.
I just don't want to talk. Yes. I just don't want to have like a pre-installed forced conversation at all times. Because then you find yourself looking outside before you go out. Do you not?
Yeah.
You look outside if you don't feel like talking to someone, you're like, fuck, he's out there. All right, I'm going to wait 5 minutes. Jesus Christ, maybe he'll go inside. I don't want to live like that. You're peeking out your blinds to see if you can leave your own home. I can't do that.
I got
will
a particular neighbor that Look, I'm as outgoing as it comes. Like, I talk to people. I don't mind it. But
You
I've got
talk-
one particular
remember-
one. It's too much.
I lived in that apartment complex. We're out in the street talking. There's just some guy. It's like an urban area. Just some guy walking by, and Jimmy's like, "Hey, what kind of dog is that?" Like chasing after him. I'm like, we're in the middle of a conversation, so you're very outgoing.
Yeah, this guy's just too much. Let's
Wow,
talk
too
about
much for
air
you.
travel, James.
Whoa, boy.
Yeah, just because I do it, I don't want to talk about it.
He's always telling you about his juicer. Let me tell you about my juicer. No.
Got a new one, Jimmy. I get it.
No more. With the juicer. I'm telling you, man. That's tough. That's tough. I get it. I have avoided that for a reason. My neighbor and I have a perfect relationship. If there's anything wrong or something, he'll come over, right, blah, blah, blah. That's it. There's no real waving or any of that bullshit. If we're within like 30 feet of each other, maybe an acknowledgement, a head nod or something. But otherwise.
You do also have the added benefit of like your properties like almost interlock like a Ziploc bag. You've got a weird way of it, like
yeah, that's true.
The land division is strange. Whereas
It's a
mine's
weird-
like
yeah, it's
I've got
not
a
right.
fucking road and brick walls. We
Yeah.
don't got to talk, man.
You don't have to. Yeah, and this guy will make sure that you're
Yeah,
you're going to be in a conversation.
you've got
it's
reasons
terrible.
to talk over there. So we're going to do a planting over here. Is this mine or yours? And you're like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
got mine over here. So just
That's
do whatever you do, and that also acquiesces some like you're giving, he's giving. You know what I mean? Here it's just there isn't much in my properties where there's really much leeway of having conversations. We've got definitive reasons to not talk. It's called 18 inches of cinder block.
Yeah, they don't care.
Go the
They'll
fuck home.
They'll chew through 18 inches of cinder block to annoy you with a fucking inane conversation that you don't need to have. That's the problem. That's the annoying part about these.
Yeah,
That's,
it's too
can't do
much.
it. Can't fucking do it. So they keep to themselves most of the time. A neighbor of theirs named Pat Moody said the Rosenthals once came to a community meeting, but they didn't like speak or have anything to discuss. They just kind of sat there and watched, which is normal. They don't have to say anything.
What's going on here?
Pat said that she occasionally saw the couple just like strolling through the neighborhood, basically. She said they seemed like the perfect couple living in the suburbs. So that is a very much an intro to a lot of small town murders. This is a perfect little suburban area. It was great. Everybody loved it. Yeah. He, at this point, is really advancing at work and considered a top-tier guy here.
It's going great.
The executives considered him to be brilliant with numbers, and he achieved recognition when he was asked to analyze the financial scheme of the Megaplex project that they were putting up, which was like a stadium and a big building. It was a big, giant project in Boston and I guess John Hancock was in on the whole thing here.
Okay.
And
He's running the numbers on the whole jam.
yeah, he's in meetings with like all these top level business executives and all this shit, and he's the representative for John Hancock. He's the guy. Wow. So they really trust him. And by 95, he is the director of acquisitions and disposals. I don't know what the fuck that is, but
buying it and throwing it away.
Buying it or tossing it. I don't know. That's how dumb I am. He's got such a good job. I don't even know what it is. You know someone has a good job when you're like, whoa, what the fuck is that? That sounds important. I don't know. You work in that big building and do that?
Yeah, he figures out whether it's financially viable. That's an amazing gig.
Apparently so. He earns $96,000 a year in the 90s, mind you. So again, that's a lot more now. Plus bonuses. Plus he gets a bunch of big bonuses too. So he is killing it. He's crushing it money-wise. Really is doing great. I guess he... every day he's doing all these high-level tasks with this Megaplex complex. And in 95, he's like really into this. He's working late hours. He's, really throws himself into this project here. At one point even, though, he's still – the thing is he would be social at work for a little while. He would go to lunch with other people and stuff like that. But they said that he at one point in 93-ish, he stopped – having lunch with his coworkers that he worked with, and he started having lunch with Laura instead because she worked there too. Yeah. Which if your wife works somewhere, it's kind of hard to tell her, I can't have lunch with you. So
I got these guys. I don't know. You can't sit at our table.
Yeah, this sounds very high school. Like, I don't know, he used to sit at our table in the cafeteria, but then he started hooking up with some chick. Now he's over there with her. It's his wife, for Christ's sake. This isn't...
Now he's married and doesn't have time for us. We're at work.
This isn't the 10th grade. He's got a wife. He literally was married to this woman. So he would work late a lot in 95, but when he wasn't working late, once in a while... inside the Boston Marriott at Copley Place, there was a sports bar in there called Champions. Yeah. And every once in a while, he would, after work, stop by there for a couple on the way home
to
unwind. Like and plus, I think he's working like 14-hour days doing crunching numbers. So you'd need something after that, you know?
You got to distract yourself with anything.
You can't just get in the car and drive 40 minutes after you do that. You gotta lubricate that situation. Even just a drink, just okay. All right. See the world better.
Yeah.
So he would go there, but he doesn't go there and just have fun. He apparently goes around the bar. You get a beer or two in him.
Yeah.
He starts going around the bar questioning people on their stance on gun control. That's what he starts doing while he's out at a social occasion at a sports bar.
Oh,
yeah,
my
he'll just
God.
go around. What do you think about gun control to a stranger? And they're like, we think you're better than me. And I'm surprised he didn't get his ass kicked like 30 fucking times by people doing that.
That is a bananas thing to do.
It's a weird opener. It's, maybe if you're talking to someone for like 3 hours, that might come up, but
you're gonna
how's it going? What do you think about gun control, huh? How about it, guy?
Second Amendment. Let's talk about it. No.
Whoa, okay.
I'm trying to get drunk.
That's what he's doing. One of his ex-girlfriends said, quote, he was intense, but he was a very passive man with his feelings. I never saw him violent or that angry. So that's what I mean. So even in the bar, he wouldn't get uppity with people. He wouldn't be like all up in their faces being like, oh, motherfucker, this is what I think. Right. That never happened. He just wanted to discuss gun control with people.
Maybe he's trying to get in touch with his surroundings and just find out what everybody else thinks.
I don't know. He's described by his friends also as nerdy but athletic, which is okay. Very dedicated to work, but they said he's adventurous when they go on vacation and stuff. He's adventurous. He can be a fun guy.
We'll do some hiking.
But he's either focused on work or not focused on work. Like there's no, either that's 100% or, okay, it's a break. I'm taking a break from work and now I can have a little bit of fun. But he stays in there. They said one of his colleagues said that, quote, the guy is extraordinarily smart. He can always tell you what's what. So, yeah, he is considered like the top of his field, smartest guy around type of deal. Now, February 1994, February 18th, 94 to be exact, they have a baby.
Oh.
Laura and Richard have a baby, a son named Reese. The baby is premature.
Oh, no.
By a good amount. And there is apparently pretty much as soon as the baby's born, there's fluids begin accumulating around the heart and lungs, causing heart failure. And within 24 hours, Reese died. The son died.
No.
So, yeah, they lost a 1-day-old baby.
Fuck.
Which is difficult, obviously.
Yeah. That's
difficult
a lot of
for
strain
people.
on a relationship sometimes too.
It can be. Oh God, absolutely. That's tough. You have people handling shit in their own. And that's just people handling things in their own way and not figuring out how to handle it together, type of thing. Which is fine because everyone handles horrible grief in their own fashion. So it's just the natural progression of things.
The loss of a 1-day-old. It's really hard to not try to place blame somewhere. Granted, not necessarily on a person, but just somewhere for closure.
Oh, you're looking for
Jesus
a reason.
Christ. Yeah.
Maybe even more than blame, but a reason.
There you go. Yeah.
What's the reason
that
for
shit?
this?
That's crazy. Yeah.
That's crazy. So this is hard though, and this type of thing changes people sometimes too.
Yeah.
It'll change people. Everybody said that he became extremely depressed over this. Like it hit him like a ton of bricks, which is strange, huh? Dead baby would make you sad. Weird.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that?
Yeah, and at 30, like you want that child, so it's 40.
He was fucking 39. Yeah, and she's 34. They're like, hey,
fine. We should be able to have a child, right?
Tick tock on the fucking biological clock, and we moved out to the suburbs, and we have good jobs, and they're like, this is that's the next step
to do it, right?
And I guess he was very difficult, had a very difficult time with this. They said he became depressed by the loss of the baby, which very normal, like I said, and he became lot of people said kind of obsessed with the baby's death. Like it became a big part of his thing. Like he couldn't get over it.
Fuck, man.
Had a hard time getting over it there. So that's tough. Now, pretty much very quickly, too. That was February 94. And by, by August or July of 94, she's pregnant again.
That's great.
Laura. So they want to have another baby. They want to get past it. And that would be, I guess, a way to get try to get past it would be, okay, well, focus on, they won't have any time to be depressed over that baby because this one will be screaming. So
I can imagine, too, being that he's so financially invested or minded
Emotional.
in things. You know what I mean? Yeah. He had 9 months in that fucking child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now he's, that's crazy.
And think about the way he is. The kid probably had a trust and a college fund and was enrolled in preschool already. He probably had all the things lined up. These are very studious people here. This isn't like they're not
Welcome
in a trailer
to being a
like
Buffalo Bills fan, sir.
Yeah.
9 months investing something for nothing.
For nothing. That's fucking funny. They're well, it's better than being a Cardinals fan.
For absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Or for that matter, a Bronco or Giant fan. So we're not sniping at anybody's teams here. Trust us. Trust us. This is not a team snipe.
It's just being a fan of anything for so long to get goddamn nothing out of it.
No, these two, they probably had the whole room set up, the nursery, all the blue. They had it going. Yeah, these aren't like
a fucking crib. They had a swing, James.
No, they're not like in a trailer going, "Hey, Charlene, you pregnant? Or just you eat a lot of Velveeta last night? Because I can't your baby fell out." Like, that's not how these people are at all. They're really... Those babies always survive, by the way, that baby.
Yeah. The one that gives birth in the toilet.
In the shit bucket. Yeah, not even in the toilet. In the fucking Homer bucket on the porch.
You're not going to believe that it just came out.
That kid will be the sturdiest fucker ever. He'll survive 30 years of prison later on when he kills his girlfriend at 21 years old. That's no problem.
And this kid had a trust fund already.
Yeah, couldn't make it last. So by March of 95, Laura is 8 months pregnant at this point.
Okay.
And Richard is now, he never really came back around from being depressed about the baby that died, about Reese. And now he tells a coworker of his that, quote, everything's just so difficult and hard now, which...
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, 8 months pregnant is hard. And not only that, 8 months pregnant, which can you imagine the tension that they have of, holy shit, I hope this baby doesn't die in a day. Right. It would be a lot of stress coming up to this point. So,
and they're probably repurposing a bunch of the shit that they already had for this one. You know what I mean? It's all brand new stuff.
Yeah. So apparently he's just, exactly, it's all new now. So apparently he's having, him and Laura are having some arguments and things like that over it, and which is extremely normal if you're
so common
in this situation, especially. So April of 95, a young girl is born, a baby girl is born named Marla. So little Marla is born, and she is perfectly healthy. Everything's fine.
Great.
Born on time, no problems. Apparently, Reese, it was just premature, was the main issue. And, so... Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmy's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah. They're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad.
Right.
There's chemicals and things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up. For energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff. And I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool. And you can personalize this portion and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Apparently, Laura returns from maternity leave and then ends up leaving her job to take care of Marla full time.
Okay.
So she returned, and that was another thing they were having. She was having a hard time with. She wanted to go back to work, but she felt bad leaving the kid in daycare. Didn't want to leave the baby in daycare. They didn't need both of them to work financially. Right, yeah. So she decided that it's just selfish for me to work. I should be taking care of the baby, and that was her mental thing about it. Which I'm sure every new parent, that's the guilt you have of. Right. Oh, where should I be here? Where should I be? You don't know how to do
it. She probably feels lucky to have this healthy baby. You know what I mean? And wants the best for her because, I mean, they're supposed to have two right now.
Exactly. So the neighbors said they would see them now rolling the stroller at night after, like I said, after dinner. He'd be part of the stroller parade there, she's having a baby.
Yeah.
They're all
brand new
out
Grand
there.
Marshal. Yeah.
Yep. So apparently this is when Richard, after the baby's born, people said he started to show stress at the job. His home life would kind of leak into his work. He would be didn't have the same demeanor. He kind of had a flatter affect, but now he's a little more, stressed.
Saying a newborn changed his life? That's weird.
I was going to say, he seems like he's not, the next words were, it seems like he's not sleeping as much at night. That's strange with a newborn in the house. Who would have thought, right?
Doesn't
Weird.
seem as rested anymore.
Whoa. So let me get this straight. He was sad when his baby died.
Yeah.
And now he's tired when this baby is born. Wow. He's really, what is he, an alien, this guy? Jesus Christ. What a strange person.
And shit.
He's sad when his baby dies, and he's fucking tired when he doesn't sleep. Wow.
Real anomaly, this guy.
Yep. The one coworker said that Richard would complain with how they put it, quote, more than most fathers about losing sleep because of the baby.
Really?
Yeah. Now, a lot of this is also because this Megaplex project is going on.
Yeah.
And he's trying to work long hours and trying to be home with the baby and he's got a lot going on at the moment, stress-wise and shit like that. But they said he's been spending all of his time doing the Megaplex thing for work and all of this type of shit. It's a combined convention center domed stadium that they, Jesus. I guess, I don't know if it ever happened or not. I don't really care. Doesn't matter in this story. But either way, in May and June of 95, when Marla was a couple months old here, month or two old, started to be more tension in the family here between the two of them. So they're having some tension, and apparently it's because he is not paying enough attention to the baby daughter. That's what she's saying. You come home late from work, you're out fucking working all the time, and blah blah blah. So anyway, that's the issue. She's also mad at him because when she was going to go back to work, she was very stressed out about sending the kid to daycare, and he didn't fucking care. She said that he didn't console her when she was crying about it. So he was like, yeah, send her to daycare. Great. Who cares? He was just like, I don't care.
Decisions like that don't require tears, ma'am.
No,
I don't want to cry about it. I'm just
also,
saying from a man's perspective, I'm not going daycare.
Well, we don't have We don't have hormones flying around like trying to fix themselves after a baby, because your body inside and your hormones are like, take a bowling ball and throw it at the pins perfectly, and when they explode, that's what you just did to everything. So it's your scrambled shit. So it's very difficult, and postpartum women will cry a lot of times about anything. Yes. So that'll happen. Yeah. And rather than as the partner in that situation, you have to go, it's okay, and explain why it's okay, and like let him cry it out. He just went, fuck you crying for, and like left the room, which is not how you handle that, by the way.
I'll cut a check. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, all right? It's okay. So that was a problem. I guess he would control the money here all the time, but she would always have to like get money from him. He kind of controlled all the finances. No, but also, who's going to do the accounting in the house?
Yeah, good point.
You know, she should have access to the money. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she shouldn't have to like beg for it. But I mean, he should do the accounting in that. One of us has a master's in actuarial science. I think I'll balance our checkbook. Thanks.
Consider this house my megaplex. And shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like if she had a master's in actuarial science, I'd be like, bro, hand it over. Like she's the one to fucking do the work here. So anyway, she would she'd have to talk to him before he left for work, or would call him at work to get approval to spend money. Like she shouldn't have to get approval to spend money. She could not adjust the thermostat without his knowledge.
What the fuck, man?
There are some crazy thermostat weirdos out there. Yeah. My stepdad, who's a wonderful man, is a thermostat Nazi. I mean, he could be dead asleep if you touch it. What had the fucking air conditioning on? Oh my God. Don't turn the air conditioning on till it's 103 outside, he told me at one point. I was like, 103? 103. Do you think it's a little It's a little much, 103. Yeah, that was his rule, though. 103 was the cutoff for air conditioning
outside.
When I was a kid. Yeah, I had to be 103 outside to turn the air conditioning on.
It could be 95 outside, 91 inside. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. That was nice about everything else. Very crazy about the goddamn about the fucking
Arizona
temperature.
Weather is different, sir.
He might be better now. He had a good near death there. He might be looser about air conditioning now. I'm not sure.
He might be. Air conditioning's air conditioning.
Back in the day, pretty anal though. He once told me to please gauge my ketchup usage because I used to. What? Gauge your ketchup usage? I was like 13. I was like, for real? What the hell does that mean? Ketchup's free. I can go
washing the plate after you're done eating. Still a lot of ketchup on it.
I go to McDonald's and get a bag full of shit for free. Ketchup's free, man. How dare you sell it in a store when it's free? Anyway, yeah. So, Jesus Christ. He would do that with the thermostat. Okay. Now, during the summer of 95, over the summer, after the baby was born and everything, tension grew between the couple over the lack of attention to the new daughter. Uh-huh. By the way, this is the first one we've had in a while where there's not like 14 characters and you need a chart to keep track of. There's two people, very easy to keep track of. So, apparently she became... apparently he didn't want to spend time with her because he was saying that he was still depressed about Reese. He still was like, he didn't want anything to do with this baby because he was still sad about the last baby, which psychologically will happen. Maybe he's got a fear of getting close to the baby because the last one died, but you got to get over that. That's your kid. You got to go to therapy, do your thing, get over it.
Someone's got no water on the heart. Pay attention.
No. Go to therapy or get over it or do what you got to do, but you can't just ignore your kid. That's ridiculous here. You're a live baby. Pay attention to the alive one, please.
And very healthy. Like zero chance right now of this thing just leaving us. So
needs your attention.
Be present. Yeah.
Needs your attention. So apparently at one point she became very upset, and I don't blame Laura for this at all, when in July, she wasn't home, so she left the baby with him. I guess it was like a Saturday or something. Wow. She came home and found out that he strapped the baby to the changing table. Because, they have a little belt on a changing table so they don't and just left her there unattended in the bathroom while she came home and he's in the kitchen grinding coffee beans. She said, "Baby?"
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in the changing room table there in the bathroom. And
Don't
she
worry,
went in.
I strapped her in.
She's just strapped onto the changing table. Not even in eye fucking view. In another floor. On another floor. This is crazy.
Holy hell.
The kid's like 3 months old. So
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, you put him in that little chair and you carry him with
Yeah.
you. You put him on the counter and you grind your fucking beans. That's what you do. You just got to carry him around. They're like
put 'em-
luggage at that age.
You put them in the swing, you buckle them into that,
Yeah.
and you have that in the same room and grind while they're awake. Or you wait till
Or
they're
you
asleep,
wait.
take that shit outside.
Yeah. You put him in that little chair you carry around that
Yeah.
clicks into the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're one of those deals. So either way, that's what's going on here. Now, in August, early August, he says to her out of nowhere, I want to have another baby.
Oh, my.
She's like, you don't pay it. You strapped this one to a changing table. I'm not fucking having more kids. What are you, crazy? Let's get this one up and going first, all right?
Why don't I buy you a sack of flour? We'll put a fucking a diaper on it like you did in high school.
Yeah.
You wander that around first.
We'll have it like Niles and Frazier carried around the bag of flour and set it on fire and shit. We'll do that. But apparently she has got some sort of problem. The last pregnancy exacerbated it, an internal problem. And in order for her to carry another pregnancy, she might have to have an invasive and painful surgery. And they don't know how it'll come out, too, if she'll be able to have kids. But it'll be a big uphill
This is a
battle.
high risk. This is a high risk pregnancy. We can't be doing that.
And she's like, we have a baby.
Right.
Like, let's just deal with this baby and not worry about doing any of that shit. So now in mid-August, Laura brings the baby to lunch with him in the John Hancock cafeteria. Brings the baby in so all the workers can say, oh, can you imagine? Oh, there's the baby. Oh, you're so cute and all that. Apparently, he took the baby to a coworker against her wishes, against Laura's wishes, and she became very angry and they got in a huge fight over it.
Okay.
She was like, who knows? You're not giving it to that bitch. I hate her or whatever it was. Don't give it to him. Or he looks like a pedophile. I don't know what it was, but didn't want this coworker to have the baby, and he brought the baby over, so that caused a little bit of a fight. But it wasn't like a yelling and screaming fight. It was just like a, why did you do that? And people saw there was a little bit of tension. You know, they keep it together. Actuarial scientists keep it together. You know what I'm saying? And their wives, generally that family. So August 28th, 1995, okay? It's a Monday, and he's acting weird at work, Richard. He's acting weird. They said there's a long meeting, and they said he seemed to be very distracted during this whole meeting and kept ducking in and out of it as well, which is very unlike him. It's very odd. They said he's normally serious, remarkably hardworking. They all call him intense. They don't know why he would get up and leave and all that kind of shit here. So once work is over, he stops at Temple, okay?
The university?
No, Jewish temple. He stops at Temple to pray. Temple. It is his alma mater, so it's his alma mater, so that makes sense. So he went to Temple, and apparently I guess this was during a part of their service where you would recite a Jewish prayer for the dead if you lost a loved one. It was one of those. So they think he was probably, he might do that a lot. Stop for his son and do that kind of shit. So either way, I guess he wasn't in official mourning from the temple, like to stand up at the time you do it, but he was still there, still in his own way doing it. So either way, now at this point, he comes home from this. This is what we know. He comes home. Okay. We get from that Temple. Much from Temple. He comes home from Temple. Now, sometime in the next couple hours, we don't know exactly when this occurred. Marla took a nap. Yeah. But Marla's only 4 months old, so they sleep all the time. Yeah. Marla's taking a nap, and he took a rock, a softball-sized rock, and beat Laura to death with it.
Oh, my.
Absolutely beat her to death. I mean, destroyed her skull, man. Like, ruptured her eye socket, the surrounding bones. Her face was beyond recognition.
Wow.
Yeah. They will have to use dental records to identify her. That's how bad her
right?
With a rock. That's how badly he beat her. Unfortunately, that is just the beginning of what happened to her.
No.
He then, Jesus Christ almighty, buckle up, everybody. He then takes a knife and slices open her torso.
Yep.
I mean, opens her up like a burrito. Like,
Yep.
He removes her heart and her lungs.
Why?
Okay. And then, okay, well, at some point, he opened her up.
Yep.
And then drug her outside into the backyard. Okay. Drug her outside into the backyard while she's opened up. You can imagine the amount of blood we're talking in this trail.
I can't. It's got to be insane.
An absolutely fucking incalculable amount of blood. I mean, whatever you got in your body, that's in a trail from there to there.
Right.
He removes her heart and lungs, possibly her liver too, not sure, and gets like an 18-inch stake in the yard, like a stake you put in your yard to mark something, and just puts the organs on the stake in the yard on top of it. So they're like a flag, like a little flag.
Flies,
yeah, just put the organs, like stuck them on top of the stake and stuck the stake in the ground and left her there.
That's it.
And then left her there. Now, kills Laura. We don't know why. There's no reason. There's no reason. He then grabs Marla.
No.
Throws her in the back seat of the car.
Yeah.
And drives away.
Okay.
He's just driving around for a while, driving around aimlessly. And finally, he gets behind a car. And their license plate, it's not a personalized plate. This is a state-issued plate.
Yeah.
The numbers on it are 357-BAN, 357 ban.
Yeah. Oh, no way.
Yes.
He is livid.
He's got, well, I don't know if he's pro or anti-gun control, by the way. I don't know his stance on it, but he's real interested in it.
Okay.
He sees this as they are referencing gun control.
Right.
So he wants to talk to these people about it.
Yeah.
So by the way, before he left, he changed out of his bloody clothes, put them in a bag, threw them in the back seat too. So in the back seat, he's got his young daughter and a sack of fucking clothes with the baby's mother's blood all over them.
Right.
That's very nice. Okay. So he follows this car for like 2 miles, or whatever, I don't know how fucking long, for a while he followed. It wasn't like on one street. He followed them with this license plate going, oh my God.
Yeah.
Finally, it's a sign, right? So the couple, Paul and Lynn Johnson are their name. They pull into their driveway and he pulls in right behind them, hops out of the car and just starts talking about gun control. Hey, I saw your plate, blah, 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 and just starts going off about gun control. And they're like, what the fuck?
State of Mass just gave it to us. I don't know anything about it.
If anybody follows you into your driveway and then pops out talking about guns, that's terrifying. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Who is this fucking psychopath, right? So they were like, hello? Like, hi, I'm Paul. Like, I don't know what's going on. Then they said they looked in the car and they could see in the car there's a baby in the back seat.
Right.
And they're like, what? Okay. Well, he's got a baby, so that makes them feel a little more safe. But they're like, what are you driving around with your baby, hopping out, talking to strangers about gun control? Because the state of Massachusetts issued them a license plate that makes you, it's fucking crazy, bro. Like, we're in weird times here. So they end up, they see the baby in the back seat. They see he's acting real weird. They see this bag in the back seat too that looks suspicious. So one of them goes in while the other one's still talking to him and calls the cops. And it's like, I got this guy here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's anything, but he's super weird. Maybe you just want to take a swing by and just make sure he doesn't murder us in our front lawn. That'd be great. So the cops pull up, and at that point, they ask him, hey, where's this baby's mother? That's what they ask him. They don't know. They're just trying to make small talk with him. And they're like, okay, guy with the baby, where's the kid's mother? Yeah. Not like, where's this baby's mother? It wasn't like an accusatory question. And he said, well, at home the last time I saw her, which technically is true.
a good answer.
So yeah, he told the police, they said, well, this is all pretty weird. Tell us what's going on, and the sooner you tell us what's going on, the sooner we'll let you go on your way. No big deal, but you got a baby, you're pulling up in people's driveways, asking weird questions.
Yeah.
The fucking shit's weird. You know what I mean? We need backstory, bro. This is like kind of like that review of they're Nazis and will kick in your door and kill your dog. Like, I need backstory there, and that's what they need. They're in just as weird of a position.
Right.
So they said, explain yourself. And he said, quote, I'm driving around to cool off.
Uh-oh.
I had an argument. I had a fight. I did a terrible thing. I'm having marital problems.
Oh, no. We just wanted to know where now we got so much paperwork to do.
Then he said, I did something terribly wrong. I might need a lawyer. And he said, they go, well, what was the fight about? And he said, I burned the ziti.
What?
Apparently, he overcooked a tray of ziti. He was cooking, and this isn't you burned my dinner. This is the opposite. He overcooked a tray of ziti, and she got upset about it. Who knows how upset, if she was just like, for Christ's sake, I don't want to eat this shit now. You burned it. Either way, his reaction was to beat her unrecognizable with a rock and to take her internal organs out and put them on a stake in the backyard. That was his reaction to, doesn't take criticism well, let's just say.
I would say, yeah. That's a good
This ziti's a little crunchy.
I'll open you.
I'm going to open you up.
Solid appraisal.
So they're like, they don't know what's going on, but at that point they look closer in the car and see the bag of bloody clothes in the back of the car.
Yeah.
Now they read him as Miranda rights, because before that he's just some crazy guy. Gun control, I did a terrible thing. Who knows what he's talking about? Right. Once you see bloody clothes, okay, something has been done here. A crime has been committed. Before he talks anymore, we need to get Miranda on him quick. So they Mirandize him. And even after he's Mirandized, he claims now, they said, why would you do this? What the fuck are you doing? Why would you kill your wife? And he said that, quote, he believed his wife was an enemy alien vampire.
Oh, no.
Part of an invasion
of
enemy alien vampires. Not just an enemy, not just an alien, not just a vampire.
Combination.
A fucking vampire from another planet who is also not friendly.
Oh,
that's what that says.
Oh, boy.
That's a lot.
Got you here, sir.
And then he said, so based on that, what I did was self-defense.
Oh, God.
She was an enemy alien vampire. What the fuck do you want? She was the head of the invasion, bro. Like, what am I supposed to just let her go free and then what? More of them come? I saved you.
This is complicated.
So they're like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, you burned the ziti, and only an enemy alien vampire would get upset about that. Really,
it's true,
I mean, it's not normal behavior. So
crispy edge or like the whole thing.
Just you fucked it all up or what? You like left it in there like an hour too long, dried all the sauce out. It was just garbage.
That crispy edge is legit.
Oh, I'll burn the shit out of my ziti. As long as you put enough, as long as you use enough sauce in there, you can cook ziti as long as you want, and it's fine because you're just gonna burn that fucking cheese and make it goddamn delicious.
Yes.
And in the fucking pot, it's gonna be wonderful.
Couple
so either
of crispy
way,
noodles around the edge. I love that crunch.
Yeah. That's the shit right there. So this is fucking wild. So yeah, he's got a bloody shirt on top of a cloth gym bag. He didn't even put it in the gym bag. He put most of it in there, and he's like, I'll just throw it on top. I'm sure no one will see it. So that's when he said, out of nowhere, he goes, I was in a fight. You weren't in a fight. You were in a murder. So she's a homicidal space vampire alien. That's what he claimed. So she got mad at him for overcooking the ziti. That's when he knew that she was a homicidal alien vampire, and he needed to take care of business.
Yeah.
So, Now, on a couple of these articles, by the way, I found some of the commentators were involved in this and know a lot about the case. One of the commentators was the lady of the couple he followed home.
Stop it.
Yeah, because it said
wife.
because it said that they were from Hudson, and she said, actually, we were driving from here, not there. So I was like, wow, they must know what they're talking about. Here's a commentator This is the couple's babysitter. When they pulled in, this guy pulled in behind him. The babysitter's in there like waiting to go home with her jacket on.
Yeah.
You know, she said, quote, "I was babysitting for the couple he followed home that night. I witnessed all of his strange behavior. At one point, he asked if he could have a spoon for his yogurt because he was hungry and didn't get to eat dinner."
He brought a yogurt with him.
He brought a yogurt with him. So what do I need? Baby, bloody clothes. Okay, I got her heart and lungs. They're on the steak. Okay, got that. I'm going to grab a Yoplait also on the way out.
Ziti's destroyed. She's right.
That's at the end of the day, he didn't even eat the ziti, so she was probably right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying too, you asshole. The couple was terrified, and we were all very concerned for the baby in the back seat. I was there when the police took him into custody, and when he told them he had done something bad to his wife, and that she would be very mad at him. It was one of the most memorable and frightening nights of my life. He deserves to be in prison for life for what he did. So,
did he ask the couple for the spoon in the midst of the conversation of guns?
No. Once the cops got there, all this weird shit's going on, and he's like, "Can I have a spoon for my yogurt?" They're like, "What are you talking about?" That's what he wanted. So, So anyway, they arrest him. They contact Framingham police because that's where he lives. That's his address and his driver's license. So Framingham police officers are sent over. They have to break into the home. It's a beautiful 4-bedroom home there. They run around in an upstairs bathroom. They find bloody clothing and a butcher's knife, a bloody butcher knife. Oh, God. That's what he used, man, a butcher knife. That is brutal. Then they basically, from the butcher knife, they follow a thick trail of blood through the house. God. Down the stairs, through the thing, out the back door, through the backyard, and into the woods. Oh, they just follow a blood trail. That's how thick the blood trail is. You can follow it through the grass, by the way. So they follow that, and they find Laura there. A torso opened up.
Yeah. Steak
near her body with her fucking organs sitting on them.
That's too much.
Not what they expected to find at all. The one guy here, the first district attorney, said, "I've never seen anything like this in my entire life." And pretty much every investigator that were there said they've never, ever, ever even thought of a crime scene like that. Never mind been to one.
Understatement, yeah.
This is a horror movie. Even in a horror movie, you wouldn't think to do that.
Right.
Like that's... Writing a horror movie, you'd be like, shit.
That's too much.
You wouldn't get to that. Yeah, it's a lot.
Audiences would hate that.
Yep. Oh, my God. Face had been bashed in. Her throat was slit with the butcher knife. Then he cut her from her throat all the way down to her navel and opened her up like that.
Oh, like a fucking dissection.
Like an autopsy.
Yeah.
Like an autopsy. And her organs had been placed in an 18-inch stake in a nearby garden.
Okay.
Like a gnome, like where you would put like a little flag or a gnome or something. He put her organs.
Scare the crows away.
That'll do it right there. 2 lungs and the heart impaled on it on the end. It's about 30 yards away from her body. So that is a fucking lot. They also found a rock the size of a softball covered in blood and viscera of all kinds, which is horrible. They had to list her as a Jane Doe originally until they got proof from the dental records that it was her, even though we knew it was her. So John Hancock, the company, quote, "Rosenthal was placed on indefinite leave yesterday at John Hancock." No shit. You can't even fire a guy for this? We'll find out if it's true or not. Like, how good at his job is he? Where they're like, let's let it play itself out. Let's give it a minute.
He knows how to do this Metroflex. Come on.
He's like a criminal athlete where they're just like, but he's 25 a game, guys. I mean, what the fuck?
Chris Sprouts.
I don't know what to tell you, man. No, it's hard to find pass rushers, you know? So
I don't think the Raiders fired that one. Did they fire him quick, that wide receiver?
Which, yes.
Was it quick or did they say?
No. It took a while. It took a while.
Wait and see.
They're like, well, how dead is that other person, really? They could be an alien vampire and come back to life at any moment. So until I'm sure. So, yeah, he's on, that's amazing, indefinite leave Gee, thanks. Might as well have said sabbatical. He's on sabbatical.
He's on a walkabout.
So this is on a walkabout. So they send him to a mental hospital for evaluation because he's
this is sticky, man.
He's saying some weird shit, right? And the cops are like talking to medical professionals like, we don't understand this at all.
What do we
type
do?
Of thing. Yeah.
What can we do?
Jack Levin, who's a sociology professor at Northeastern University, said that he's probably going to plead temporary insanity based on what he's saying here. And he also says, quote, this overkill, this attempt to drive a stake through the heart, to literally extricate the source of power from another human being, that's not normal thinking.
Weird.
That's Now, as far as understatements go, I think that could be a champion of an understatement. That's not normal thinking. No, it's really not at all. This guy wrote a book called Overkill, by the way. He meets for an hour with a psychologist right away, who later said that he seemed logical, direct, and rational. The doctor said that he exhibited a flat reaction to the slaying and references to his wife, and he described his wife as the unknown victim, which is weird. At one point, he asked her, "Is this a big case?" It's going to be, yeah. You said
it's certainly gross.
You said you took the organs out of an enemy space alien. People are going to fucking hear about this probably. Yeah. So if it's not then, it will be in 22 years or so, or 17 years or so.
So the babysitter
27
knows.
years or so, whatever it is.
A lot of people know about it.
Everybody knows. There's a babysitter involved in this. They said that the psychiatrist said he was able to discuss a range of penalties. He indicated an understanding of various court procedures, such as plea bargaining. He was able to correctly define the role of various court officers and to appreciate the adversarial nature of court hearings. He was able to discuss various defenses, though initially confused between the meaning of a plea and legal strategy. However, he accepted advice from an attorney, and this is while they're looking at him for a couple days. She concluded that, quote, while appearing generally competent, there were some observations that raised doubt. There are, boy. Certain observations, including the fact that there was, quote, no recognition or acknowledgement that his wife was dead or might be dead. She said that was kind of weird. Didn't expect that one. She said that he referred to his wife repeatedly as an unidentified or unspecified person, stressing, however, that due to the severity of her injuries, the body had to be identified through dental records. So maybe she thought maybe he was playing off of that. Right. She said at one point he began to answer a question, even though his attorney advised him not to answer, and that in the end, that's when he just said, is this going to be a big case? Because he's telling me not to answer shit. Then she asked him, what alternatives do you have to pleading not guilty? What do you think you can do? And she said that he replied, quote, this is her quote, after thinking for a while, he replied, self-defense, temporary insanity, or a, quote, thyroid storm.
What?
What the fuck is a thyroid storm?
Well, you've heard of an overactive one. This is
that's really overactive.
This is a thyroid tornado.
Holy shit. Thyroid hail is coming down hard. A thyroid storm. You plead guilty or not guilty? I plead thyroid storm, Your Honor. That's not an option, bro. Sorry.
Thyroid nor'easter? Have you heard of them?
What the fuck?
It's thyroid here.
It's thyroid El Nino. It's coming.
It's goddamn nuts inside here.
Wow. So at this point, by the way, all the papers, everybody is playing this as, how could this have happened out of nowhere? Perfectly fine, happy couple, just had a new baby. Everything's perfect, idyllic life in the suburbs, and neither of them have ever been arrested. There's been no charges of anything. What the fuck, man? That's what everybody's thinking. Then, of course, once they talk to people that they worked with, they find out,
what's coming out.
Oh, no. There's a lot more to this fucking story than that. They found out that one of the friends and colleagues, multiple of them, of Laura at the John Hancock Company there, said that she sometimes came to work with bruises on her face and that her husband was, quote, insanely jealous of other men as well. Now, they said that he Company sources said that they thought he had a history of physically abusing his wife, who once came to work with a black eye. Yeah, so there you go. Another employee said that, and several employees said this, that I don't understand what this means, that he, quote, talked inappropriately with coworkers about the details of his wife's 2 cesarean section deliveries.
What? How far did he go?
What inappropriate details could you possibly discuss about that?
I suppose graphic description?
I mean, but that can be taken as like he's excited because his baby was born. But if it was like a natural birth and he was like, man, her pussy opened up huge. I could have put my whole foot up there, man. It was fucking crazy, man. This kid just fell out. I was like, oh, man, look at you. Oh, man, looks like a fucking blown out tire. Like, that's not what he said.
No.
So
maybe he did talk about her vagina in one form or another, because maybe he said something like she had a cesarean section, so everything's good down there now.
Maybe that's a good point. Yeah, still all tightened up. So
didn't even need the daddy stitch.
So LJ, as she's called here, Laura, I guess another person said she had been less outgoing the last couple years. She cut her hair, dressed more conservatively, and even stopped getting her nails done as regularly as she once did. Which also could be described as, it's just going to say, a mom who had a dead baby and then got pregnant and had another baby. Right. It was a newborn. So, yeah, you don't have time to go get your nails done as much the first 4 months your baby's alive. So, now, I'm not discounting that might be also a depression thing, but it's also every fucking new parent out there looks haggard. All of them do.
We all look like shit the first year.
Yeah. Her hair person and nail person even said that he used to go too. He'd frequent the salon as well, and his regular appointments trailed off after the baby was born too.
Yeah.
Weird. Super weird. People have a baby, they don't have time to groom themselves. Strange, right?
As a dad or a mom, you don't feel necessarily sexy the first year. It's not great.
Well, it's just fucking triage. It's just control of. Yeah. It's like if somebody came in with like a giant bag, like a Santa Claus bag of presents over their shoulder, and threw it down and opened it up, but instead of presents, it was baby ducks, and they were in your house, and then they said, now pick them all up. You'd be like, how the fuck? There's one under the couch? Fuck, there's 100 of these things.
It's going to take a year for you to find all these.
It's a mess. It's a fucking mess. So then the salon owner, Tina Cristaldi, gets a little over dramatic here, and I love this. After something happens, then I saw it in him, I swear to God. You never said anything before that, Tina. Shut the fuck up. Shut up, Tina. She says, quote, there was something deep in him, always this strange look on his face. When she walked in with Richard, she wouldn't carry on a conversation.
So deep you didn't call the cops? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it was just, I saw it though. I said, he's going to kill her. I shouldn't say that, but that's fucking funny. Also, a former landlord said that during her first year of marriage that she changed a little bit. He said, quote, she was less willing to speak and just didn't look as well, like she had adopted his more reserved style. Okay. Well, people look like their dogs sometimes too. But again, that could also be like, I don't like you getting fancied up for other guys and shit like that. That could be a form of controlling abuse. We don't know. Either way. But his ex-girlfriend said that he wasn't jealous at all. She said, quote, he wasn't jealous at all. But I don't think we were that enmeshed. Like they weren't married and had a baby, so who the fuck knows?
Maybe she wasn't as hot as this one was, and he didn't think that there would be two men that would want to fuck her.
Who knows? Yeah, who the fuck knows? Either way, but they ended up their relationship butted right up against Laura's, and that's how their relationship ended. Is he just kind of started seeing Laura, and their relationship kind of ended. A close friend of Richard's named Joanne Briner. She said that she saw LJ with a black eye and a bruised cheek in the summer of 1990 at John Hancock, where they all worked. That's before they were even married. She said she questioned Richard about the injuries, and he told her that LJ was hurt when she, quote, walked into a door.
Yep, the old one.
Which is maybe the worst black eye domestic abuse excuse of all time.
If you say that to me, I'm going to go, oh, so you beat the shit out of your wife?
Yeah, that's a joke. Like if there was on Family Guy, if a woman had a black eye, they go, what happened? I walked into a door. And that would be while the guy stands behind her, like beating a fucking pipe against his hand. That would be the joke. Like, obviously you didn't because
Clearly,
holy shit,
yeah.
Look at that psycho. So this woman, though, she said she couldn't accept that answer.
Oh, good.
She wasn't taking it. She said, quote, I called Rich again and I asked him what really happened to Laura Jane. He said they had an argument and he may have pushed her and she may have fallen down.
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Not
I remember
sure.
A lot of crying.
I just remember that, yeah, I'm an asshole. So two other Hancock employees, Alma Haddad and William T. Weimer, said that once during 1993, Laura Jane came to work with a bruised face, but that she did not tell them what happened. They said those are the only times they ever saw her with any bruises, or like those three the times that we've described it. So another neighbor said that she thought Richard was strangely quiet. I love it after the fact people are, he had this look on his face. He was a little too quiet. Like, fuck.
I was uneasy about the whole thing.
Yep, the neighbor said, quote, to tell you the truth, I thought there was something a bit odd about him, and I'm not just saying that now. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm not just saying that now. Oh, you're saying it when then? When are you saying this? I think you're saying it right now, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm pretty sure you didn't say anything before anything happened.
No, that's the truth. So either way, they now he's in jail now, obviously. They keep him for a little observation and they place him in a jail. He's in a holding cell, and there's an 18-year-old kid, by the way. This is another commenter. He said, quote, once in a holding cell with him, I guess he was in one, and as they took him away, I joked about his appearance. I was an 18-year-old kid. I said, what the fuck was a guy like him doing there? And most of the guys in the cell knew the story. Blew my mind. This is, by the way, we've had a small-town murder first today. We've never, ever, ever, ever had any of our murderers go to temple to say a Jewish prayer for the dead and then fucking eviscerate their wife. We've never had that happen before, ever.
That's a first. Crime
and sports first, everybody. That is crazy. Not a lot of small-town Jewish murderers, that's why. It doesn't happen that often. That's a very small sliver.
Also, very rare they take a man who is suspected of murdering his family in a vicious way and slam him in a cell with a child.
With an 18-year-old. Yeah. Who wasn't a murderer, probably, because he said it blew his mind. He's like, Jesus, you took your wife apart? They put you in here with me? I had weed in my pocket. This is nuts. Holy fuck. So
I was accused of crimes that Mark Wahlberg committed.
Do you know that?
I didn't even do anything.
Why are you bringing me into this? I didn't do nothing. Hey, what's going on? Why are you saying that? I didn't do nothing. Really? Seriously? Hey. Oh, what's happening? Why are you talking about me? Huh? What's going on? Think you're better than me. Think you're better than me.
I do.
Oh, God. So while in jail, he wrote an 8-page letter to his college roommate. Richard did.
What?
Yeah, it was December 21st. I think he was feeling like holidays. He wanted to be close. So it's like, I haven't talked to he's 41 years old at the time. I haven't talked to my college roommate in years. I bet he'll be curious as to what I'm up to.
Check in on his Hanukkah.
Long lost friend. Does your wife still have her heart and lungs in her body? Mine doesn't. How do you start that conversation?
May your family be blessed with hearts and lungs.
Yeah. Oh my God. In the letter, he said that his wife was enraged the night that she died. He said, quote, I had a very bad feeling about her since the previous evening, that she had changed and that she was planning on killing me.
Okay.
So he's got his whole explanation, and he writes it out in 8 pages and gives it to his college roommate rather than his attorney or somebody else like that. Right. I guess he wants to. I don't know if he's trying to reach out to a person to feel like he's normal, or I don't know what the fuck the psychological bullshit that's going on in there, but that's what he says. He also called it his manifesto, which is never good.
That's bad.
That's bad.
It's not a good label for anything.
If you bring up space aliens and manifestos in the same week, you're going in a room. I'm sorry.
For a long time.
Yep. He also said in the letter that all of this might have stemmed from his deep state of anguish over the death of his son as well, which he still can't get over. So is he responsible for this criminally? What do we think here? How crazy is he?
Fucking yes.
Yes, thank you. Now, fuck, thyroid storm. But it's a thyroid storm, and I killed an alien vampire. Duh. Jesus Christ. It's like people don't even fucking get it.
It's kicked off by some Italian cuisine, but look, man, everything else is just blame. You did this.
Yeah, she's mad at me because I overcooked the ziti, so I cut her heart out. Isn't really a good excuse.
That's not a good defense.
No, it's really bad here.
Calling all dog owners. Your furry friend deserves top-notch nourishment, and Ollie delivers the clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs in 5 flavors they'll absolutely flip over. Ollie is made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world, with absolutely no harmful fillers or preservatives. With protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might start thinking, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Give your pup a fresh start this new year by letting them taste test a personalized meal plan with Ollie. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie.
Creating really great retail experiences is tough, especially with multiple stores, teams of staff, fulfillment centers, separate workflows. It's a lot. But with Shopify Point of Sale, you can do it all without complexity. And let's face it, acquiring new customers is expensive. With Shopify POS, you can keep shoppers coming back with personalized experiences and first-party data that give marketing teams a competitive edge. In fact, it's proven, based on a report from EY, businesses on Shopify POS see real results, like 22% better total cost of ownership and benefits, equivalent to an 8.9% uplift in sales on average relative to the market set surveyed. Want more? Check out at shopify.com/Wondery. All lowercase, and learn how to create the best retail experiences without complexity. Shopify.com/Wondery.
Now, because he has none of the problem is that because he had none of the traditional small town murder hallmarks of a domestic murder like this, like, you know, he was seen dragging her by her hair from the trailer across the front lawn, beating her with his other hand while screaming, "I'll kill this bitch," like 5 times in the month leading up to it, which is normally what we get here.
Right.
This is different here. There's no domestic violence arrests. There's no restraining orders. There's no stalking. There's never been a call to the police. There's never been the neighbors calling saying there's fighting in the house. None of that shit. So the director of the the Family Violence Research Program at the University of Rhode Island, he said, quote, "You're looking at one of those rare psychotic breaks," he said, which is good for his attorney. It makes it much more likely there'll be an insanity defense. Sure. So he's like, that's what he says. Now, apparently they said they're explaining here, this is the dean of the Northeastern University's College of Criminal Justice. This guy says that spousal killings rarely result in huge overkill like this. Usually it's kill, whew, they're dead, and then go from there. Yeah. It's not usually like I'm going to take this person apart. This is like a weird staging like a serial killer would do. You know what I mean? This is fucking crazy. So to put on a stake and shit, it's nuts. Yeah. So they're saying this is not normal at all here. He says that kind of activity is much more common in a disorganized killer, someone who's confused, not someone who is vice president at John Hancock, which is very true. The director of a program on violence at Northeastern University here, another guy, this is the Jack Levin guy again, the overkill guy. He said the whole symbolism of impaling the heart is one of power. The heart is very significant. The idea always was that you could doom Dracula by driving a stake through his heart. or in his case, an evil alien vampire. Same thing, apparently, here. Now, he didn't undergo a competency examination, but he did speak with numerous psychiatrists and psychologists here. Reports from these professionals basically ran the gamut from complete mental lucidity with some dysfunctional behavior to holy shit, this guy is fucking bonkers. It's
too much. Yeah.
It runs the whole way there. One doctor said he spoke in goal-oriented sentences and showed no evidence of major psychological symptomology. Other doctors, though, noted increasingly suicidal and bizarre oppositional and threatening behavior as he's been there. Yeah. So while awaiting trial, he's again committed to the mental institution while he's in jail here at Bridgewater, and a doctor evaluates him. And she said that this doctor said she considered his responses well measured and succinct and devoid of spontaneity and elaboration, but also found that Rosenthal was suspicious about the identity of his parents and other family members.
What?
So he totally got the court proceeding. Yeah, no, I'm saying, I get it. I plead, we go to court, then we do. I totally get it. Blah, 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 blah. So is your family going to be in court? Oh, they're not real. They're fucking aliens. Those people aren't real. That's what he would say. Totally lucid about all that. You get to his family, he's like, they're not my real family. No, those people are they're from another planet. They're obviously pod people. They've taken my family hostage, probably taken them to whatever galaxy that's from, and now they're trying to trick me. I get what's going on here. So anyway, what's for lunch? Like,
Can I get a yo plate or some ziti?
Holy shit. Yeah, I hope someone sane took that poor baby. So either way, that's pretty interesting here. They also sought a medical opinion about his medical status to explore the possibility of an insanity defense, obviously. So, holy shit. Now, the state assigns a doctor to talk to him, and his lawyer instructs him not to speak with the state doctor for purposes of evaluation.
Okay.
Said we don't know what we're doing yet. So, either way, there's a hearing, and in the hearing, he refuses to enter a plea.
What?
He won't enter a plea. He keeps saying, but I want to talk about something else. The plea's fine, but I got something else to talk about. I have a statement I need to make. Okay?
What is it?
He keeps doing that. He just keeps saying it's about, quote, something else. Which is like, for this guy, that could be anything. Holy shit. I'd be like, well, I got to hear this. I'd cross my arms and be like, let's go, brother.
Wait.
Hands under the chin. Tell me. What do you got for me, pal?
Yeah.
So, either way, while this is going on, while they're waiting for him, they talk to a psychiatrist who says that that he answers many questions with a refusal to answer or comment, but he doesn't seem suicidal or homicidal now, but he could not promise to tell if he would be suicidal or if he would be homicidal again. So I have no fucking idea about this guy, is what they said. Another doctor said that it was not clear to him that Richard had a mental illness, but there was certainly a strong possibility of it. Therefore, further inpatient evaluation was warranted. So, holy shit. Now, this is while they're letting him plea. Okay, now, this is the exchange that took place. The defense counsel says he's standing mute. He's not saying anything. The clerk of the court says the defendant standing mute, the court will enter a plea of not guilty to this indictment. Be seated, Mr. Rosenthal. He says, excuse me, this is Richard, I have a statement to make if the court will allow it. The defense counsel now says, I've advised him not to, but he wants to say something.
I would like this not to be heard, but he would love it.
He's going to say it. I can't fucking help it. So the judge said, the state says, the prosecutor, Your Honor, I think he should be inquired as to guilty or not guilty and no more. In other words, don't let him make statements. He's supposed to say one or two words. The clerk of the court says, fine. Would you ask the defendant how he pleads? The prosecutor said, no, Your Honor. That's what the court has already done. I would suggest no further statement be appropriate. It's like, we can just enter the not guilty and fucking move on. The clerk says, thank you, fine, be seated, Mr. Rosenthal. Then says, Mr. Rosenthal, you're under, this is the clerk, mind you, you're represented by counsel, and under the advice of counsel, he does not wish you to speak. So I do not want to hear from you at this time. What you say of this indictment, sir, are you guilty or not guilty? He says, Richard says, quote, I understand. Number one. Do you really, Rich? I understand, but at the same time, I would prefer to make a statement not on this case, but on something else.
All right.
Bro, the clerk says, not right now. You'll have a time to give a statement in due course. But he ignored that and starts yelling and screaming about he'd like to make a statement to everyone. This isn't just to the courtroom or the families. This is to the world, mind you. I would like to apologize for bringing on the current airstrikes in Bosnia. I'm sorry.
He did it?
And then he sat down. That's what he needed to address the whole time, that he is apparently he brought on the airstrikes in Bosnia that were happening at that time. And he wants to apologize to the court for it. He's very sorry.
Did the court accept?
They said, that's fine, sir. Yeah, you're forgiven. Like, what the fuck? The space aliens, if you kill one, then they drop bombs and I don't know what happened there, but he's very upset about it, and he wants to let everyone know how sorry he is for bringing that on.
Yeah.
So I'd like to also apologize for the Crusades and fucking Hitler. Like, what are you talking about? So in the defense now, wow, Jesus Christ. During the course of some evaluations, they're talking about all this type of shit, and the next time after the Bosnia incident, he meets with the psychiatrist. He says, quote, however, the next time I met with Mr. Rosenthal, after hearing of his lawyer's concerns, he appeared the same as he had previously. He was able to answer questions and interact with me in an appropriate fashion, so I never performed the formal competency evaluation. I did not specifically ask him about his understanding of the trial, charges against him, or the function of various roles of courtroom participants. In that, his mental functions at the time seemed to be grossly intact. The judge then noted his delusional and erratic behavior increased after he filed a notice that he would assert a defense of lack of criminal responsibility. Sure. They're saying he's gotten crazier since he said he was insane. Did you notice that? That's what they said, basically.
He's gotten up Bosnia.
Yeah, he's bringing shit up like that. So he actually formally files a notice that he's going to assert a lack of criminal responsibility as his defense. And the state then puts a motion in to say that he has to submit to an examination by no more than 2 qualified psychiatrists, and they issue the order. And at that point, the reports of his delusional thinking and odd behaviors increase even. They said that one doctor said, and this is April of 96, after examining him, this doctor noted an increased withdrawal and isolation, weight loss, and bizarre behaviors. She also expressed a concern over his suicidalness and because that's been reported by the security staff that he keeps threatening to kill himself. His parents, Rosenthal's parents, told the staff that Rosenthal was denying that they were his parents, which would, be odd. Again, he's still on that one. It's been going on for months that those aren't really his family.
This is a ploy now, right?
I guess. It's got to be. So this doctor, Dr. D. Cataldo, said, quote, Rosenthal reports having doubts about the identity of his parents and possible other family members. He reports that he began to believe this approximately 6 months ago. A definitive diagnosis is not possible at this time, as he refuses to allow for a more thorough assessment of this possible symptom complex. He will openly admit to any and all who have asked him about his questioning of his parents' identity, but steadfastly refuses to answer any probing questions about this belief and will not allow questions about the existence of other possible delusions. He'll say, those aren't my parents. They say, what are you talking about? And he goes, never mind.
Let's move along.
Okay. Well, what about when you said that you caused airstrikes in Bosnia? Don't want to talk about it. Okay. What we got to do here, you're in a rubber room. This is when we talk about your crazy stuff. Right. This isn't just, we're not chit-chatting right now. We're not talking about if the Patriots are going to be good this year.
We're trying to figure out what we're going to do with you for the rest of your life, because you're clearly too much for society.
No shit. They said the reasons about other areas is unclear at this time. The ambiguous nature of his self-reported symptom and his overall approach to this area raises the specter of deliberate malingering.
Right.
That's the thing. Now, during his They've examined him all the time. They said he demonstrated a ready and operational understanding of the warnings and everything. He was vigilant about answering any question he thought might bear on his legal case. At one point here, Rosenthal told the doctor that, quote, after this was all over, he would enjoy having an unencumbered discussion of some of the points they discussed, but that was not currently possible.
When this is all done.
Let's sit down and have a chit-chat about my mental acuity,
I'm sure
but
you'll
not
want
now.
to do that in your spare time.
Oh, boy. Can't wait. So they said there's no suggestion of a formal disorder of thought, other than him expressing doubts about his family, but unable to give details. He also describes hearing voices and sounds as well. So, yeah, that's not good. Then he finally say, why the fuck do you not think your parents aren't your parents? Right. At one point in jail to a doctor, he says, over the past 6 months, they have acted strangely over various instances and have made me doubt their identity. They're terrified of you. They thought you were a nice Jewish boy who got a job as an actuary, and instead you dissected your wife. They're terrified of you.
You've done a bad thing.
They're horrified that you fucking brought shame upon their family. Yeah. Holy shit. So he then described noises that weren't actually present that he hears, sounds of mopping of the floors, sounds of playing cards, but he wouldn't give any details about that at all. Then at one point he tells the doctor, quote, I know they're my parents, but I've had my doubts. Okay. There you go. So the trial comes around now.
Oh, my.
This, as you can imagine, is going to be a circus.
How do you not?
Oh, boy. And he's wild, too, during this trial here. So 2 doctors testify that he suffered from a delusional disorder in that he believed a non-human alien was impersonating his wife and intended to kill him. Therefore, he acted in self-defense.
Okay.
They said with that thinking, obviously, he's not criminally responsible. They argued that the death of Reese a year earlier triggered his mental breakdown and that the mutilation of the body was evidence that he was psychotic. So the prosecutor said the killing was a culmination of years of domestic abuse. Their explanation's much simpler. Yeah. He beat up his wife a lot and he fucking killed her this time.
Finally, yeah.
We see this all the time. Yeah. Alien vampires or not, we see this shit all the time. So they said that Rosenthal had refused to take psychotropic medication or undergo counseling, and specialists said he had no treatable mental illness. The Commonwealth's expert, Dr. Barney Fife, said that he had narcissistic personality traits and did not have a delusional disorder. This doctor also commented that he met 3 or 4 of the diagnostic criteria for malingering, which, by the way, I just got this giant medical book on malingering. It's so thick. It's awesome. I can't wait. It's 1,000 pages about fucking malingering.
People that have done it, or
and the different
cases.
It's cases and it's the breakdown of malingering psychologically. It's so interesting. I can't wait to read it. So either way, here we go. The case proceeds here while the trial's going on. The trial goes on for weeks, by the way, which is crazy. As it progresses, he starts making weird noises starts growling.
Oh, boy.
Starts doing Sigourney Weaver in Ghostbusters. She's Zool, he's doing shit like that. He's just he's growling. He starts making other weird fucking strange noises in court to the point where the judge has to stop the proceedings and go, fuck is your problem, basically. Wow. So October 30th, 96, his experts had testified. His counsel asked for a bench conference, and this is what happened here. This is the quotes here. The defense counsel says to the judge, quote, the defendant has been acting a little bizarre lately. Lately? Say for a while now.
Since the start of this.
Yeah. He's talking about testifying now, and I want some time to talk with him. He's growling. He's making funny noises beside me. Yep. That's not going to be good on the witness stand, basically. No. This started yesterday when his sister started to testify. And before I can rest, I did not plan to put him on the stand. Your Honor. So I need to take some time to make it very clear if I can, and to also say to myself whether he's competent. I mean, he was certainly competent in my mind to stand trial up till now, but it would be against my advice if he took the stand. So I've got to talk with this man. And the court officer also admitted that that he was laughing out loud inappropriately yesterday when he was walking up the stairs.
Oh, God.
They were walking with him. He just started going out of nowhere. Not even in court, just by himself with the guards. They're like, you don't have to do that for us, bro. We're not the judge. We're not the jury. A little bit weird. He said, I just need some time to talk with him. Then he talked with him. They went outside in a separate room, talked with him, and then he comes back in, and defense counsel said, we feel satisfied he's competent to stand trial. I can't tell you anything more than that. Sure, there's always some doubts when a man is as sick as he is, and he's a very sick man.
Certainly.
That's true. Yeah. And there are a lot of pressures that brings out that you don't have in more regular. Wow, he got off on one there. That you don't have in more regular, but I wouldn't have gone forward trying this case unless I felt he was competent. Am I 100% sure? No, I'm not 100% sure. Do I think he should be evaluated for competency? No, I think it's in his best interest. And the judge says, all right, that covers that in my opinion. Lawyer says he's sane, basically. That's that. Yeah. We're doing it. So he at that point, like I said, he kept informing everybody that he wanted to testify. He wanted to testify. And they're like, bro, that's not going to be.
Don't do it.
You can't fucking do that. So he said, no, we feel satisfied. He's going to be good. Court does not conduct an evaluation. Now, in his closing, Jesus Christ, the fucking prosecutor, the defense attorney, emphasized Rosenthal's delusional understanding of reality. Okay? He's like, listen, I said he's crazy, but like, you don't fucking get it. Like, for real. Like, he is, it's fucking, he's out there. He said, quote, ladies and gentlemen, again and again afterwards, when Rosenthal sees his brother and sees his family, he's delusional. He doesn't think I'm me. He asked Dr. Whaley for his license ID. He doesn't think his parents are his parents. He's fucking batshit. He's crazy. He's sane 1 minute, crazy the next. I don't fucking know. Okay. Help me. Imagine being the defense attorney. Look.
Please.
Outside of Laura, I've had it the worst of everyone. I've had to deal with this guy, try to get him together in court, tell him not to growl. You know, it's like when you have to tell a grown man, please don't growl during a public proceeding. That's not normal. Past a 4-year-old shouldn't have to say that.
A lot of people's lives. Mine might be like third on the list.
Fuck, he's driving me crazy. So the jury, they have a lot to think about here. Is he fucking crazy? Is he second-degree murder? Did he snap? Is this like the atrociousness of it? Does that make it first degree? They have a lot of options, and they choose to find him, what do you think, Jimmy?
Guilty as fuck, James.
Guilty of first-degree murder.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like, fuck that. You're smart enough to know shit.
He's faking it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think so too. He killed his wife. I think he snapped. I think he fucking killed her, and then he went, oh shit.
What do I do now?
And then he concocted this whole thing. I have to make it look like I went crazy. Right. Otherwise, this isn't going to work.
An actual crazy person who believes that his wife is a vampire from another fucking dimension is not going to allow the child to live that came out of that body. And he had zero anger towards the child, her spawn, her fucking offspring.
No. The alien has taken over her lately.
Oh,
this happened after she was born. Yeah, so she's possessed by it. Yeah, they've replaced her with. It's a pod system, Jimmy. Don't you know anything? They come down, they put you in a pod, they replace you with a lookalike. Yeah. Duh. Yeah. So obviously, come on.
So the baby has nothing to do with this. The baby's completely innocent.
No, baby has no shit to do with this thing in his mind. So
that's the only truthful thing that he said so far.
He's fucking nuts. Yeah. I mean, he is nuts, but he's also responsible for this. You know what I'm saying? You can be both. So the sentencing comes around for guilty of first-degree murder, and they say, you, sir, may fuck off, life in prison. Done. So there you go.
No parole.
Life. I don't think so. He's done. All right. So no parole. The reaction from the family here, her mother, Laura's mother, LJ's mother, Vanita Shaw, she said she was satisfied with the outcome of the trial.
Good. Me too.
That's good. Yeah. She said so many beautiful plans were lost and lives changed forever because of one man's rage. She said she was, I guess, taking care of her granddaughter, Marla Kate. She said she, quote, will only be able to know her mother in the memories and hearts of others. Don't say hearts. Just leave hearts out of it. I feel terrible for you, but just leave.
Why would you use that word at all?
Yeah, you can't use it ever at that point. Her sister, Shari, said that even worse than the killing was knowing that Marla Kate will never know the one person who loved her more than anything in the world. Yeah, I would say. Now, his father, Rosenthal's father, Irving Rosenthal, said, we are all sorry for Laura Jane. She was our daughter-in-law, too. We will all miss her. Because it's not like they were like, we want our fucking son to kill his... They're horrified about this, too. Yeah. He said, quote, my son is mentally ill, and I think the jury missed the boat on this. We're very heartbroken. Yeah, so that's what his dad said. He's mentally ill.
I think your boy made a mistake and didn't know how to deal with it.
Yep, I think he fucked up. Here's what I think, too. I think the pressure, first of all, the kid died, and that will fuck you up. And I think the pressure of having a new baby is enormous. It's fucking enormous.
Oh, my God, it's so incredible.
Especially if you're an anal retentive planner like this guy. Yeah. And I feel like it's very much enormous. Then at the same time, you got him dealing with the biggest thing he's ever dealt with at work with this project and all this stress. And I think this motherfucker didn't have it together enough to deal with all that. I think he snapped, and then he said, oh, shit, I better make up a pretty big lie over this shit. That's what happened, in my opinion.
I better do something that they would never understand this, so I got to make something that they'll really never understand.
Yeah, and also, I'm, a successful guy. They might just go, oh, he's crazy. Come over here, big guy. And, he doesn't think of himself as in the criminal justice system. Yeah. So I think that's what it is here. Now, he appeals this, obviously. A couple things. First of all, ineffective assistance of counsel, he says. Now, I'm sorry, but that guy fucking did his best. You can't control.
He worked as hard as you can ask him to work.
Dude, how do you control a client who talks about Bosnian airstrikes that he caused and fucking growls in court while his sister's testifying? How the fuck do you keep that together? And I'm sorry, man. As good a job as you can. Yeah. He showed up every day. That's more than you got out of me. I'm like, I'm taking Friday off, motherfucker. You have drove me crazy. So, ineffective assistance of counsel, he says. He says that there's two theories of how he unconstitutionally denied him his right to testify.
Two.
Okay, two. First, he argues that his lawyer coerced him into waiving his right to testify. In an affidavit he presented to the motion judge, Rosenthal claims that during the recess, I'm growling so my lawyer needs to talk to me recess, his lawyer threatened to keep him in a holding cell unless he agreed not to testify. The motion judge did not accept this account. Said, you're lying. That's probably full of shit. Your lawyer would be disbarred if he said, I'm going to keep you in a fucking holding cell rather than give you your constitutional right to speak your mind.
But he also probably told him, if you talk, they get to ask you questions too. That's not going to be good for you because you haven't been able to explain this away yet.
But he didn't say, I'll put you in a holding cell. Right. That's probably the lie part. He said, my God, for the love of fuck, if anything you've ever listened to on this planet, listen to me when I tell you do not go up there and testify about space aliens and you don't know who your parents are. Please, God, growling at the jurors. We can't have it. So they said absent other evidence corroborating this account, the judge reasonably discredited his account, and there you go. He doesn't allege, by the way, Rosenthal does not allege that his lawyer failed to inform him of his right to testify. He says that he contends that his waiver of the right was involuntary because he was prevented from testifying by his lawyer, and he was incompetent to stand trial in the first place, which his lawyer said he was competent. So there you go. He said that he does say, though, later on that Rosenthal at one point says his defense counsel failed to inform him of his right to testify. In his next motion, he adds that into there, which is a whole other issue. He says that the only facts that support this contention are those related to Rosenthal's alleged lack of competence. In fact, Rosenthal's allegation that he was not properly informed of his right to testify is exclusively dependent on his claim that he was incompetent to stand trial. The judge said, quote, "The materials submitted by the defendant do not raise a substantial question of possible incompetency, i.e. a substantial question whether the defendant had sufficient ability to consult with his lawyer with a reasonable degree of rational understanding." In other words, you had a conversation with your lawyer, you guys came to a fucking decision, you know enough to fucking do that, and you can't complain about it afterwards.
Yeah.
No whining, no crying in baseball. Back to your holding cell, shithead.
You played the game, you lost.
Yep, that's it. You got tackled in bounds. 4th down, motherfucker. Let's go. So they said the record is devoid of any other evidence demonstrating that Rosenthal was not informed of his right to testify. And to the contrary, he continuously expressed that he wanted to tell his side of the story to the trier of the fact. So he constantly kept asserting that he knew he could testify. So he knew about it. They said that the trial judge at one point had a recess to speak with Rosenthal. That's not normal.
Yeah, when the judge wants to have a word with you in private, that's bad.
Me and you, chit-chat, other room. At that time, the defense attorney stated that he wanted time to make clear to Rosenthal that it would be against his advice as a counsel for him to testify. After the recess, he told the judge he wouldn't be testifying, and then the judge talked to him, and he said, no. That's the type of time when he will talk to him. Like, are you not testifying because you don't want to testify, or are you not testifying because your lawyer told you can't? Because that's one of those issues on appeal. Judges hate when their shit gets overturned.
Yeah, because all this work for nothing?
Well, it's especially because most of the time it gets overturned on something they did. So it's basically, you fucked this up, so now it's overturned. So they hate that.
Do it all over again.
So they try to cover their bases and shit like this. They'll bring him in so now they can say, he told me he didn't want to testify.
Right.
Period. It's not that. It's not a he said, she said. It's fucking me. So he he said he was coerced, though, into agreeing with the decision. They said that his self-serving affidavit was not credible. They said it's inconceivable that such a threat would be effective. Because he could have stood up in court and said, I want to testify he's lying. There you go. Well, then the judge would have said, is that true? Yes, it is. Well, then you got to let him testify, and he would have testified. So he could have done that. The judge, though, says it this way. The defendant, an intelligent and educated person, was well aware, I would say, Christ.
Very well. Yeah.
Very well, and he's probably seen a couple episodes of Law & Order on top of it, so he knows what he's doing here. Was well aware that he was in custody of court officers, that the court and the jury were waiting, and that the defense counsel could not prolong the recess indefinitely. He does not explain why, when he was released from the holding cell and returned to the courtroom, he did not tell the judge about the counsel's threat. That would have been something to say. He threatened to put me in a cell. I mean, the defendant's self-serving affidavit, written almost 10 years after the alleged coercion took place and supported by no other evidence, is insufficient to raise a substantial issue. His other argument is, quote, his other argument is no more than a second attempt to litigate his competency claim. Rosenthal contends that the substantial doubts regarding his competency made it impossible for him to waive his right to testify knowingly, and that his lawyer should have recognized this problem. Our prior analysis of his competency claims shuts the door on this line of reasoning. We do not see how the lawyer deprived Rosenthal of his right to testify. If anything, by bringing the matter to the attention of the court, the lawyer decreased the likelihood of involuntary waiver.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up and get back in there.
Yeah.
Now, he also wants to say he wants his pre-Miranda statements thrown out, which are, I did something terrible, she burned the ziti and all that shit, or I burned the ziti and all that shit. So he said that shouldn't be allowed in. He just talked to him.
That was driveway chit chat. You never said anything in a driveway somewhere that you wasn't true?
I mean, you talk, you know how guys are in the driveway. You just, you talk shit sometimes. You go back and forth, you bullshit. I want to know how burned this ziti was, is what I really want to know, too.
I need to know.
How burned was this ziti?
Not enough sauce is what I got to get to.
It
right?
has to be.
It has to
dry.
Be dry.
It dries right out.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if you don't add enough sauce anyway, it'll dry out even if you don't overcook it. You have to have a lot of sauce in there mixed with the ragout. Get it fucking together with
and
the
then
ziti.
You can't overcook the ziti before you put it in there, otherwise it'll keep cooking.
No.
And then it'll be soggy.
You got to undercook it a little bit. You cook it about, I say 60% is where I go on the cooking of the ziti. Yeah. So During this is what the judge says about that. Given the consent of the statements and the defendant's demeanor at the time the statements were made, the decision not to challenge the pre-Miranda statements was clearly a tactical decision consistent with the defense's lack of criminal responsibility. Moreover, the defendant has not shown that he was prejudiced by defense counsel's failure to raise the issue of the voluntariness of pre-Miranda statements to the trial. Quote, an officer may suggest broadly that it would be, quote, better for a suspect to tell the truth, may indicate the person's cooperation would be brought to the attention of public officials or others involved, or may state in general terms that cooperation has been considered favorably by the court in the past. So they can go, hey, it'll look good for you if you tell the truth.
Right.
They say that shit all the time. You know, hey, you tell the truth, maybe we can work with you, maybe we can talk to the prosecutor. Yeah,
Very common.
Very common. When that happens, the answer to that is, well, make a deal with my lawyer then. That's the answer to that.
Yeah.
I don't make deals. That's not a deal you're making. And I know you're not authorized to do that. So
Fuck out of here, Monty Hall.
yeah, fuck you. So, but either way, that's allowed by the law, and you have to be smarter than that. So the type of statement that is prohibited is, quote, an assurance, express or implied, that the defendant's statement will lead the defense or result in a lesser sentence. So basically, it will aid the defense or result in a lesser sentence. So you can't say, hey, if you fucking tell me this, you won't get life in prison. We'll get, you'll get a lesser sentence or whatever. You can't promise any real things that you're not allowed to promise. Therefore, it says, the blah, blah, blah. The police officer's statement to the defendant in this case were within and were arguably more innocuous than this realm of acceptable statements. Yeah, they just said, hey, you tell us what's going on and we'll get you out of here.
Yeah.
And why is that thing bloody? Those are really easy questions. Therefore, the defendant's pre-Miranda statements were properly admitted at trial, and the defendant did not receive ineffective assistance of counsel because his choice not to raise the issue prior to that was a reasonable tactical judgment. And the statements, albeit implicitly deemed available, and defense counsel properly requested an instruction regarding the voluntariness, blah, 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 blah. Get fucked, keep going and getting fucked in a fucking Massachusetts state prison. So enjoy.
Jesus.
There was even a thing for a while where there was a possible federal jurisdiction was going to come over certain things that came in. They were possibly going to kick it over to the feds because they thought they'd have a better chance with a federal jury than a state jury, but they ended up keeping it in Massachusetts, and that's what ended up happening. So, yeah, he's in prison still, I believe.
I hope so. Yeah.
I don't know how you let this guy out.
Ever.
'Cause he's okay. If you're a drooling, crazy madman, like some of these people we have are just like, they might as well be werewolves. Like those people, okay, keep that person in prison. And then maybe if they were in prison over the course of 30 years, they stop being a drooling psychopath. You might go, oh, they reformed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy is like totally normal, totally mild. And he's like, yeah, so I was hanging out. Yeah, that's a good restaurant down there. We go down to the Cape once in a while. It's delicious. I'll tell you what. Thing that bothers me there, though, space aliens. Yeah. Got to worry about that, especially when they're vampires. That's a tough one. How the fuck do you figure out if he's sane or not? When he's lucid 1 minute, and the next minute he's growling at you and killing his wife and cutting her fucking organs out. There's no way to deal with that.
This is what I assume every person that wants to talk politics with me is really like.
They are. That's what it is. Yeah. That's all of them. Picture all of them. Anybody comes up to you, stranger wanting to talk politics, just picture in their back seat is a bag full of bloody clothes. I guarantee it.
That's what it should be from now on. No more of this shit. Stop it.
No more. Stop. Imagine, God, somebody pulled into my driveway to talk to me about politics. Yeah. I would fucking lose my shit on them.
Oh, forget it.
I would lose my mind. Like, literally, I would end up going to jail as I kicked at the person. You fucking shut up. Get away from me, you asshole. We're on my property. What do you care?
Castle doctrine.
Jesus Christ. Just my fists. So, yeah, he's still in there, and he fucking should be in there. Yeah. Honestly, this is one. If he had no history of mental illness. None. He had no anything like that. And if he was having crazy fucking bonkers thoughts over the last year since his son died, he should have sought help.
Certainly. Yeah.
He should have sought help for it. I mean, that's your responsibility is to try to seek help. And if you don't, and you're not like delusionally crazy, you're a criminal if you kill people. That's how it works.
And also, if somebody comes to work and their face is bruised and blood, and their significant other tells you they may have gotten in a fight, let's report those. God damn it! I realize
it was 93. That's why
it's too far.
In 93, that was...
Visible bruises on their face? Fuck,
No one's going to... In 93, that's considered none of your business, is what that is. That's how it was back then.
They made it our business by showing up with that shit.
Yeah. Nowadays, it wouldn't be like that. Nowadays, I would think at least somebody would at least go to management and be like, what's up here?
Hey,
I mean, I don't,
it's hard to look at.
Something, right?
Yeah.
But no, back then it was just like, that lady, she went to him. He said, yeah, we might have gotten in a fight. I might have pushed her and caused it. And then that lady, I guess, just was like, well, what do I do? I can't do anything. I'm not married to her, and if she's denying that it happened and he's denying that it's happened, what am I going to call the police and say 2 weeks ago she had a bruise but she said she fell down? They'd be like, why don't you mind your business, lady? That's what they tell her. So it's difficult,
Yeah.
Either way, though, that is Framingham, Massachusetts.
What a place.
And one of the craziest fucking stories of one of the craziest people. I'm happy that it was very focused this week and you didn't need a flow chart to keep up with the people in it. No, not like a family of hillbillies or anything. So
the characters is fairly easy.
Fairly easy to handle here. Not too bad. So thank you for checking that out. I do want to say, I'll announce it on this show too, in case you don't hear it on the other show. Crime and Sports, our other podcast that we started Crime and Sports a year before Small Town Murder. And we only got to do Small Town Murder because Crime and Sports was reasonably successful enough to where we said, hey, let's try another one. You know what I mean? And we did this. And Crime and Sports, that podcast, not this one, because people will hear it wrong if you're not paying attention. Small Town Murder for the foreseeable future. We'll be doing this for at least another 10 years, I bet. So there you go. That's fine. Small Town Murder. Crime and Sports is going to be coming to an end here in the next, it'll be the end of the day after Christmas or the day after New Year. One of those will be the last episode of that.
Very foreseeable future.
Very foreseeable future. As a matter of fact, we know exactly how long it'll be. And there you go. That's coming to an end. And we want to thank all of you that have listened to Crime and Sports as well. That was our baby, and we really, really love it. But we're running out of athletes is the main thing here. That's honestly what it is. We thought we would get 3 years out of it.
Yeah.
And we got, almost 7. So
that's quite a bit.
That's pretty good, I think. We never thought we'd get this far with it at all. We really didn't. We never thought it would last that long. We thought we would run out of athletes before that, and then more people kept sending us some. You guys helped keep it alive, and we'd find more and more. But we're running out of stories that are like full-length episode stories.
Good stories,
good stories. And also, to be quite honest, once you run out of famous people, that's not like Small Town Murder gets the same amount of listens for every episode. They tick up as our listenership ticks up, but it's not like one episode gets 30% more than another episode. People just listen to the episodes. Small Town Murder will be like, we do Chris Benoit, or I'm sorry, Crime and Sports, we do Chris Benoit. We get twice the listens. We get normal. Like, you can't live like that in a podcast. So if it's someone they've never heard of, they're like, I don't know who that guy is. Well, I don't know what to tell you. So that's difficult. And sports fans can be fickle with that sort of thing if they don't want to hear a story they don't know about. People want to hear stories they already heard.
And
sometimes.
Sports that they like.
And sports that they like. And that's totally understandable. It's not their fault. Totally get it. So, it's run its course. We've ran out of athletes. And now we will be starting something else to replace it.
Hell yeah.
There will be another show coming. It'll start the week after Crime and Sports ends. So we will flow right into it. No worries about that. And it's going to be something funny. I guarantee you that shit.
Absolutely.
So we're excited. We're starting a new show, completely new show. In 3 months. So we're jacked about that. We hope you're as excited about it as we are. We cannot fucking wait to get into something new also, and then keep this Small Town Murder train rolling along with this and Express. We'll be doing them both. And
listen, you guys, our baby
we
died,
love it, so.
And now we're having a new one.
That's what it is. Yep, little Reese, we're going to retire, and then we have. That's terrible. We shouldn't say that, but yeah. Our other baby's dying, and we're gonna put all of our energy into this other child that we have called Small Town Murder, which we already put tons of energy into. But now, with Crime and Sports takes more time to put together than Small Town Murder. It takes so long to do. So with that off the plate, this will be better.
Yeah,
this will be way better for us, and we're gonna put out another goddamn funny show.
Yeah.
Fucking promise you that. We're not gonna give you garbage. Obviously, we're not gonna put out some bullshit or. Now we're going to you know what it is? The new show is Jimmy and I reading each other poetry. That's what it is. Not poetry from books either. Poetry us ourselves have composed. That'll be just It'll be about an hour and a half every week, maybe twice a week.
Couple of
where we
sonnets from each of us.
We bust into our poetry notebooks and we really just think about it, and we discuss the work, and maybe there'll be some laughing, but there's also going to be some tears. You know what I mean? It's not going to be that much fun. No, we're not doing that. It'll be something funny.
We're going to do a podcast cooking show where we
we audio cook
coloring book and show you and tell you what we're doing. Picture this color.
Podcast cooking show would be the easiest thing in the world, because no matter what you made, you could go, it's perfect, delicious.
just make sizzling noises in the background.
Medium rare. Would you look at that every time?
Perfect.
Fucking, the sear on this thing is lovely. My God. You should see the consistency of this sauce. It's. I wish you could see it. I really do.
So boil it until it's just like this.
Yeah, like about now. Take it off. Yeah, right about now when it gets to this color. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Now, we're going to do a funny show. We're going to do a comedy show. But I do want to thank everybody who, from Small Town Murder audience here, who's also listened to Crime and Sports, because I know a lot of the Crime and Sports listeners to listen to this as well. And if you've given it a shot and hated it, thanks for trying it. You know what I mean? If you've given it a shot and liked it and just kind of put it on the back burner, fucking listen to it now, because it's almost over. So check it out. A lot of people are like, I like it, but it's like I got to catch up on Small Town Murder, and I got to do this and that. So either way, give it a shot. Check it out, and check out our new show. We will, over the course of the next probably month or so, we're going to we'll let you know what it's going to be, and we'll pump it up, man. Yeah. We'll get it ready, and hopefully you can help us get it out there, everybody. Right. So that'll be a lot of fun. Thank you for that. If you like this show right here, Small Town Murder, get on whatever app you're listening on. Apple Podcasts, whatever the hell you're listening on, give us a review. It does help the show.
It does.
I don't know why, but it drives you up the charts.
It's
so
something.
Help us out there. Really, that's just say something. It doesn't matter. It's not for our ego.
No.
It's for business over here. It's for the children, everybody. It's for the children. It's for the kids. So do that. Follow us on social media as well. We're at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. My God, not only do we have merchandise there, so much merchandise, all sorts of shit. People will always put up stuff. I wish they had this shirt. And I'm like, we do? Here we go. Oh, shit. There's a lot of stuff there. I didn't realize it. It's just understandable. So get your merch there. Also, get your tickets to the virtual live show.
Yeah.
And it is October 27th, just like a live show, except rather than you being in a theater, you are going to be in your living room or wherever you want to be. Yeah. And we will be... We have a setup that's just like our theater setup with a big screen and a table.
TV. Yeah.
And we're going to hang with you. You can watch us on TV anywhere in the world, too. We have people from all over the world that are like, oh, come to Australia. Well, come to this, and you can see us otherwise, because Australia is really far. We'd love to be there, but it's far. So check that out. It's a way quicker flight. It's going to be Halloween-themed spooky murder, and it's going to be available for 7 days after that. So... You can watch it. You can get it on the 27th. You can watch it 100 times. You can get it on the 6th day and watch it. Yeah. You can get it, save it for Halloween night, watch it then. Do whatever you want with it for the 7 days that you have it. Hang out with us and do that. And also, we will be announcing our new tour very soon. We're gonna the tickets will probably go on sale right before Thanksgiving time. So. New tour coming up. Find out what cities we're going to be in. Ooh, baby, there's a couple of ones we haven't been there in a few years. Yeah. There's a couple of new ones on there that I don't think we've been to before. This is going to be so much fun. We can't wait. And a lot of people have been asking us to come places. We're trying to come to all those places. Right. So we're very excited. Look out for that tour coming up there. That is going to be the 2023 tour.
Right.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time.
Weird.
So... there you go. Get your tickets to that when it's available. Let's shutupandgivememurder.com today. Get your virtual live. Also, you can get the virtual live tickets at moment.co/smalltownmurder. Okay. That said, Patreon. My God.
Yes.
Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of the bonus stuff. And we will keep Crime and Sports alive on Patreon as far as we're going to do just like we do now. Yeah. Weird episodes. An athlete who did some crazy shit, but not enough for 2.5 hours of crazy shit, an hour's worth of crazy shit, but it will still be just as wild on Patreon there. We're going to keep that going. So this here, patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all the bonus stuff for small town murder and crime and sports. And anybody, $5 or above a month, and that's a cup of coffee, man. Cup of coffee.
Right.
You come on, get in there. For a cup of coffee or more every month, you can get bonus episodes. Not only do you get the whole back catalog, which you can, very bingeable stuff right there. And it's like 150 episodes. That'll take you a while. Yeah, you all caught up? Well, get in there. You got more. So there's that. Not only that, every other week you're going to get 2 new episodes, one crime and sports, one small town murder. This week, what you are going to get, fun stuff, 2 of our recurring ones that people love. For crime and sports, you're going to get personal ads.
Yes.
These are fucking hilarious. We take old newspaper personal ads, what you would do on your dating app profile, except imagine publishing that in the paper.
And you can't swipe.
And hoping someone reads it and then writes to your like weird little P.O. box thing that you'd have to do. These are crazy and they're hilarious, and we do them every 6 months or so, and they're the funniest things in the world. Looking for love in all the wrong places, like the newspaper. You got that. Then for Small Town Murder, we are going to do another one that we do every once in a while, and it is so much fun and backed by popular demand. Small Town Festivals, where we're going to talk about, weird testicle festivals and goddamn, who knows, county fair shit, weird bands, strange food, pig and Ford competitions like we did. We get to get into all that shit, and it's so much fun. You get that and everything else. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And not only do you get all that stuff, you also get a shout-out.
Oh, yeah.
Which comes right now to the most wonderful people in the world. Jimmy, as a matter of fact, hit me with the list of the most wonderful people in the world who would never, ever, ever dissect me because they thought I was an alien space vampire. Please hit me with them now.
This week's executive producers are JB and Yeti Shetty. Marilyn Brandfast is your brand new 71-year-old grandmother, James. You better get in touch with her very soon.
Call her. I got to call her on Sundays.
Get all the rest of her grandmahood left.
Oh, shit.
That sounded weird. All right.
She makes sauce?
I imagine she does. Scott Gaiman, Hope Sherry, The Last Valkyrie. Valkyrie? What's a Valkyrie? That's a fucking soldier, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know what that is. But the last one likes us.
Good.
Lindsay Plemons or Plemons, Quinn Ailes, Gavin Herr, Gaza's driver who hated Ricky. Who's that, James? I don't know who that is.
What was that?
Gaza's driver who hated Ricky. I don't know who that is.
Gaza's? That's a sports Gaza. We haven't done the episode yet.
Okay, is it that or is it?
Beats me.
Or is it
the Gaza Strip?
Maybe so. Do they have a driver?
I don't know.
The fashion plate of wrestling and Corporal Carl Kirshner.
It's classy Freddie Blassie.
I forget what Carl wrote to me, and goddamn, I'm sorry, Carl. He's a terrific man. He is.
He is.
I don't remember.
He is wonderful.
All right. Povilis Basivius is really into Jessica Angela Cole. Povilis or Povilis? Basivius, you got to get an easier name, my friend.
Wow.
That one's all fucked out.
Tough
Liz Vasquez, Michelle at Centeno Kennels in Ontario, Canada. Mark E. Shaw, that's Bigfoot it is. That's the guy from the Howard Stern Show. I know who that is. Peyton Meadows, Happy Hour in Orleans, Vermont. Alyssa and Sean in Wisco. I think that's Wisconsin. Janice Hill. Jessica Chastain, Tyler Jaco, Hunter with no last name, Teresa Strangini, Kate Wilson, Megan Foley, Dylan Vincent, Mackenzie Lem, Allison Louise Harrington, Diana Phillips, Joanna Troisi, I think, Troisi. It's Italian. I don't know. Troisi. Patrick Douglas Kelly, Robert Gamble, Rebecca Davidson, Mandy Tepe, Ann Alderman, Cameron Owens, Jenny with no last name, Emma Collins, Josh Grover, Heather Rush, Annie Schulman. I don't know. Anthony Scheffelman, K.I. I think that's Kai. I think that's what it is. Alta Hope, Jackson Finn, Kristen Weir, Kim Miller, Aiden Gahan, Lorraine, Louise, Lauren Cook, Erica Chera, Ashley Lomploff, Flicka de Horse, Joyce Woods. Kathleen with no last name, Alicia Flint, David Arredondo, just Shannon, Emily Whittington, Dale Roberts, Daniel Lopez, Christina Muisen, Ricardo with no last name, Bailey Huff, Natalie Connolly, Corin Kruger, Jesse Floyd, Melissa McDevitt, Kathy Schwar, Julie Stern, Stem. Oh, is that Stern? I think it's Stem.
Stem to stern, baby.
I think that's what it is. Cole Stewart, Harvey Phillip, Walter Wellman Williams. I don't know what that means. Nolan with no last name, Alexa Fagan, Tina Hensley, Sarah Morgan, Rich Lucas, Valkyrie. Another Valkyrie? That's not
another one.
There's two of them, so you're not the last.
Everywhere.
Melon Cone, I think. BB Gunn, Elizabeth Digirolamo. That's a fucking. That's Digirolamo. Forget it. Brittany Almazon, Tara Seek, Cyborg Sarah, Nakul with no last name, Thomas Lawson, Caroline Wu Kohatsu, Mandy Hughes, Tanya Henkel, Sean Gilbert, Savvy Lambro, Amy Cooper, Sheridan Hollow, Brendan Wyant, Natalie Love, Rachel Anderson, Zane Ellis, Antoinette Jackson, Melissa Kagnoff, Lulu Edmondson, Katie Morrison, Bonnie Shea, Yvonne Liu, Christina Barone maybe, Oates Brownpaw,
Barone.
Gross, Claudia Watson, Laura Smith, Sue Haynes, McKinley, Heath, Jamie Williams, Jen with no last name, Daniel Reynolds, Gia with no last name, Gary Smith, Andrew Robertson, Joy Macharsky, Jesse Thompson, Jason Michalnek. Oh, Jesus. Michalnek. Allie Hunter, Kathy Morris, Stacy Pitty, Mark Madison, Andrea Kendrick, Justine Kennedy, Julian Logan, Courtney Smith, Joel Micah Harris, John Paul Comas,
Hey.
Michelle Ballhorn, gross.
Sorry, Michelle.
That's terrible. Bobby.
Gross.
Bobby Helton, Carly Hudson, Karen with no last name, Emily Voss, Zach Vandermalley, Tracy Forziati, Lauren Fisher, Bailey Baker, J.W. Ashman, Bree with no last name, Rob Pierce, Richard Reyes, Gregory Papika, Shannon Trott, Aaron F. Sassy Pants, Paul Hoke, Morgan with no last name, Will Van Atta, Kevin Kuhlman, Josh, nope, that's Scott Huff, Justin Lehman, Justin Lindy, Chance Furnett, Trevor with no last name, Jonah Hyder, Cassie Mewborn, is that Mewborn? That's Mewborn, Shelby Mertens, Gary Bacon, what? That's great, Kentrell Brinkley, Lori Howell, Caitlin Eastland, Michelle Kendrick, Sonnet Ireland, Matt Turley, Teresa Weichman, Samantha Shaw, Alec Hake, Frost, Randy Heinrich, yikes, Sonora Burmer, Aaron Tucker, Mr. Lanzis, Zach Grooms, I hope not, Everett Ogden, Kara Neiman, Katrina Corkin, oh, that's Katrina, I think we know, Angela Cotton, Lynn Maya, Moynihan, Jared Bramlett, Elia Charna, Ethan Cooper, Everett Case, Carly Manning, Sarah Miller, Ethan Marest, Shanna Shaw, Thor with no last name, David Mitrofanet, Tanya Steele, Amy Smart, Nora Christensen, Jason Trottier, Julie Geiger, Ashley Lacey, Kelly McKenna, Jeremy Rubin, Michael Bartley, Blake Starker, Richard Brian Cavell Jr., Isaiah Smith, Ralph Mole, Mike Killen, Justin Harrington, Greg Gailey, Brian Greeley, Christopher Lespren, Ethan Henning, Justin Agnew, Connor Curry, Dina Strong, Colleen Schickel, Katrina Lane, Mike, nope, that's Kyle March, Rebecca Tipton, Stephanie Garvin, Katrina Cherie, Heather Cardy, Christopher Kime, Jacqueline with no last name, Heather Rossi, Don Savage, Rossi, and 2R, Don Savage, Gina, Gina M., Cameron Jacobson, Jesse McWilliams, Mary Ailes, Michelle with no last name, Jenny Outlaw, Megan Moore, Will Barnes, Dan Lee, Lauren Vasquez, Kaylee Strain, Carrick with no last name, Kane Stokes, Jeffrey Moulton, Mike Cutie, Teresa Garcia, Jeff Smotzer, Karen Reagan, Luke Cuff, Brian Jones, Matthew Lewis, Thomas Wolpert, Melody McDonald, Deidre Barnes, Corey Shepard, Tristan Santer, Cameron with no last name, Teresa Mongold, John Buckley, Alyssa with no last name, Luke McGowan, Don Buchanan, Alan Monk, Zach Potts, Nicole Smith, Dustin with no last name, Chris Johansson, Mandy Murakami, Thomas Torres, Kyler Lundberg, Lindsay Larimore,
Hold it together.
Megan Amburn, Katie S., Garrett with no last name, Jillian George, Joshua Hughes, Jake Hewla, Elizabeth Lassard, probably Commandant's daughter, Lacey with no last name, Jack Jenkins, Ben Reiser, Elizabeth Ploker, Amanda Inskeep Shelton, Kat with no last name, Jennifer Binkley, Danny Laria, Lori Dodson Parsons, Courtney with no last name, Sean Ryder, Alicia Gakin, Jessica Newman, Tracy Brands, Teresa Adams, Owen Den, Priya Fall, Kyle Vickers. Hey, Kyle! Lynn Unique, Kathy Ryan, Abby Finney, Sally Johnson, Amy Kessler, Shane Barnett, and all of our patrons. You guys are amazing.
Thank you, everybody, so much for your support, for everything you do for us, for fucking hanging out with us, and for being here with us and everything like that. And really hope you're liking the show, because we have definitely, we put everything we can into the show. We love it. We love it so much, and we hope you love it too, because we're having a good time here. So keep hanging with us. Keep coming back. If you want to follow us on social media personally, you can do it very, very easily. Just head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. All the answers are found at shutupandgivememurder.com. Even you want to look up, what's this lump in my leg? Shutupandgivememurder.com. I'm sure it's on there somewhere. If not, buy tickets to the virtual live show, then go to WebMD. One or the other. But get on there. There's links to our social media, and or you can just look up Small Town Murder podcast hosts, and we'll pop up, and our social media is on that. Super easy to find us and hang out with us. Keep coming back every week. Don't forget to listen to Express on Friday. Also, let's send Crime and Sports off correctly. Listen to Crime and Sports every Tuesday. Look out for the new show. Patreon next week. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been so much fun. And until next week, it's been our pleasure. If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus